Memories. Memories.
Inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
I'm not crazy, Malin. I'm not crazy, Malin. I've just been in a very bad mood for 40 years. 40 years.
Carpe diem. Carpe diem.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Kunoichi CGL EU Open, and I am Epitomes, joined here by Loki, and we are so excited to bring you the lower bracket final to determine who is going to be going to Grands. We've got Green Fortnite versus Chillionaires, and it's going to be one hell of a matchup.
Yeah, we filtered the field down to the last three in this matchup now. A rematch between these two teams. They met early in the bracket, round one, where Chillionaires managed to take a 3-0. Green Fortnite not managing to find a single map. So a little bit of a revenge match here. Green Fortnite looking to change their fates against this stacked Chillionaires squad. This one should be very, very exciting. It's a great way to start the day or end it if you're in the European region. And as we take a look at this roster right here, you can see how stacked they both are. already up the top there. You're going to see X10, one of these star players in any field, a standout hit scan in all of CAW, if not Overwatch in general. They are a menace on that Sojourn. She will find any way to get her damage in. Sahil as well. On to the support today. We saw them playing a little bit of tank yesterday. Sniper on the Ana yesterday. This time, however, that does seem to have gone ahead and swapped back to that. So should be good to see Sniper actually on the tank role that we know them for.
Well, very interesting. And on the other side, we've got some standouts as well. Eevee, I know, has played tank today. It seems like they're going to be on the DPS role instead. Kuna switching over to that tank.
Yeah, not typically what we see. I mean, Eevee is very much known for their tank above realistically anything else. They're listed on their roster sheet as flex, but it's, you know, I haven't seen them play too terribly much other than that tank in tournaments like this at this high of a level. So it should be interesting. The thing that I also find intriguing about it, both Fiery and Gusty are listed as main supports. They both have Lucio as their favorite and most played character. They've got, the Briggs up there. It's all main support all around for both players on the support line. So no matter what support line they roll out with, so long as it's something more along the default lines, one of those players is going to have to flex to something they might not be totally comfortable on.
And we just saw a little bit of a disappearing act with Sniper and Sahil switching Sahil back onto the tank. Sniper is actually going to be playing support today, and they will be on the Ana.
Well, I mean, it's not a terrible place to put him. Like,
yeah,
we saw yesterday, Sniper's a menace with the nades. Like, every 10 to every 12 seconds, you're going to be hit with a purple somewhere, somehow, and it's going to make your life very, very hard, especially with the way that Green Fortnite likes to play. They like to play a very, we're going to engage a little bit, we're going to put a little bit of pressure, we're going to make your life sad, and then we're going to pull right back out the moment they start taking that pressure. And with the re-engage, they're so good at it, and it really almost relies off Sniper hitting these really strong anti-nades to give them the upper leg when they find this recontest.
Yeah, and I think Chillionaires, they probably are coming into this very confident since, like you mentioned, they already did beat them 3-0 earlier in the bracket, and in lower bracket finals, it still is a first to 3. So they only have really those 3 maps at first to try and figure out what they're going to do to see if they can get some points on that board and make it to those grands.
Yeah, I will say I believe X10 wasn't in the lineup yesterday. I think she had other engagements. So having X10 back here ready to play today is going to be a huge difference maker. X10, one of the leading forces on winning the last Kunoichi tournament we had. She did an amazing job there. She did an amazing job in Ka. Maybe that's what they need. Kind of change the fates, mix something up a little bit, is to have that star DPS in the lineup, the living highlight reel that is X10. I hate just going after one DPS and hyping them up more than anything else, but we're in a DPS meta, and this is one of the strongest ones you can have. So I really can't do anything more than that. I mean, we saw on the other side, the DPS line for Chillionaires, they're not exactly slacking, but they're not exactly what we're planning on seeing for the DPS line. Like, Eevee is an amazing tank. Their DPS is a little bit of a question mark.
Yeah, and I mean, Green Fortnite's roster is also just very proven, tried and true in almost all of Calling All Heroes. And I think we've seen this same roster win a bunch of titles before, so they don't really have much to prove here. I think Chillionaires definitely do have a little bit more on the line in terms of those reputation points at the very least, but now headed into the map, it's going to be a control point, and let's see what we're going to be pulling out here.
Yeah, we're on, Sanctum, that indoor map's got the big pit. We oftentimes see it a little bit more pokey setup here, as we really want to control that top left area right above this point. It looks like Sahil just gonna keep it simple. Everyone from Fortnite here running exactly what we would expect for this meta. Chillionaires, that's the mix-up we have been seeing normally from Green Fortnite. This time, however, the Hog possibly seeing the rollout from Chillionaires as Kuna also locked down on the Venture. So Green Fortnite going away from their anti-meta ways yesterday to play default, and Chillionaires taking a page out of their book. We got Eevee on the Tracer, Monarch on the Hog, and they are ready to crank it.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting one. When you see the Hog comes out, you already know that something is cooking, especially since Kuna's now headed onto the Venture as well. Looks like they're going to actually try and take first contact over on Chillionaire's side, but nothing much is going to come of it here. Instead, it looks like a spawn swap.
Yeah, just flipping this map, trying to rotate around a little bit, but this is the problem when you're playing Hog. There's just so much poke and CC that comes your way, it's just almost impossible to control space against Narissa.
Eevee actually taken down X10 early, and we were talking about how big of an impact X10 can make, but Bun takes the space over onto the point and is able to capture it for Green Fortnite for that first touch. Now Bun looking to focus down the rest of Chillionaires, but it seems like they're going to back off and regroup, just try to get a little bit of poke damage in before they re-engage.
Yeah, that poke damage gonna be just enough to scare folks off, but the big thing right there, that recall is huge. Now Bun completely open to try and push that lane a little bit harder.
Yeah, Kuna going down as well, now down a DPS, but Chillionaires are going to take as much space back as well. They do have that Pulse Bomb on board for Bun, and still holding on to the point as well. They're sort of just like fighting around, but Eevee now is going to look to try and recap for Chillionaires. Doesn't look like it's going to work out since the rest of the squad is still so far out.
Still middle of this fight though, like really Chillionaires hasn't been willing to give any of this up at all, and Eevee is just having such a hard time really finding a good entry in. Monarch not able to find the tank presence that they need, and even though they're present on point, just look at their health bar draining any single time they poke their head out of cover.
Yeah, Eevee immediately just exploded by X10 here, and Monarch is just a little bit isolated. They don't have that support from the back line, and instead just has to contend with Zarissa. That gun is just right into the face of Monarch through the big health sink, and they're going to hold on to this point once again. I feel like we haven't seen a full team fight from Chillionaires just yet. It feels more like it's just been isolated engagements across the map.
Yeah, I mean, we're, what, 80%? To the end of this map, and we haven't really seen anything. Monarch now on the ball to try and fight back into this. This is not the pacing you want to be seeing from what is one of the strongest teams in this tournament.
Yeah, and now we have the Bob coming out. It's so powerful in this 5v5 format, putting that extra body down, but Kuna comes out with that ultimate on the Venture, and it looks like they might be able to flip that point over. They are able to, with the help of 2 ultimates here from Chillionaire's side. Green Fortnite still holding on to 3 of theirs, but they actually are able to stay in this map. The ball actually doing a bit of work here, but now the Orisa ultimate is going to come through, and in the re-engage, so does the Kitsune Rush. They're trying to head onto that point, but it's actually, they're just fighting around the map.
Yeah, I mean, even with a great play there by Kuna, a heroic effort, still it's going to be a dream hill for Chillionaires to keep this one moving and going. Point is going to flop back to Green Fortnite, overtime on the board. Monarch going to have the touch right now, but do they have the team to break through this hold?
Well, you do have the step from Kiriko to try and keep Monarch up, and you have the tank just isolating Kunoff off the point instead, so we don't have that Orisa presence, but Monarch just can't sustain through all the damage that's coming through this DPS line on Great Fortnite's side. They are going to secure that objective, 100 to 29%.
I mean, and this is what we expect from Green Fortnite. They put out more damage than you can deal with. Even yesterday, when they weren't able to run X10, either Bun or Wix was able to step up and be a absolute menace to any team that went up against them, really working to mark out the other team's DPS, and then as a result put a ton of damage onto that red team tank. Never was it a tank or a DPS on the side of the team going up against Green Fortnite comfortable, just because Bun and X10 are going to play off of each other so incredibly well. When one is being covered, the other knows to step up. Then when one is forcing a mistake, the other knows to capitalize on it and find that kill confirm. I mean, this is a team that's been together for months, and dang, do they play like it.
Yeah, I mean, that rollout, even just getting to that point so quickly, being able to zone them out of these higher angles and take so much space very early. They're actually running the Genji here as well. You saw right at the beginning, as soon as Eevee came out, a ton of damage was taken off of their health bar, and that's just the art of the rollout, honestly.
Yeah, and Chillionaires, as a result of how good that last game did, is actually being forced back onto this default comp. So no little funny games as the DPS for Green Fortnite are making themselves known.
Yeah, Sahil just takes so much space here. It looks like that Kiriko is going to be out real soon. Fiery goes down, X10 cleans up the fight, and that should be an easy first cap for
It's a 6K.
Green Fortnite. Oh,
That's a 6K. They got to open it up. 2 more at the end to keep it going. The 4th one, and then another 2 in spawn, pushing Chillionaires all the way back to their doors. X10 finishes our first fight with a 6K, where Bun also picks up a kill. That's just absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, this is just a menace, and I don't know that Chillionaires right now has the DPS presence to really go head-to-head with X10. They're going to have to win it from the support line and tank.
yeah, they really need to be trying to take this space. They're able to flip that point over, actually, but almost getting one shot from the railgun by X10, and just having to dance around this corner. Terror Surge does come through. They're able to survive through and use a Kitsune Rush to push themselves through on the point. Counter Kitsune Rush from Sniper does come through. They're trying to put the damage down, but there is so much coming through, especially now X10 coming through with the railgun. The overcharge is trying to do a bunch of damage here. Eevee wants to peek their head out and do something with the dead eye that they have in the back pocket. Terra Surge now going to force them off the point. They're still holding on, but now the Dragon Blade to come through. Bun gets shut down immediately by that dead eye. A long drawn out fight, but Chillionaires are looking to come out on top. Eevee, last one standing now on that point, and is just getting zoned out. Kuna looking for the stick and gets it onto X10, but Sahil is cleaning everything up. They're finally able to flip that fight back over.
A heavy investment there from Chillionaires. Invested 5 ults, gonna get 43% of the point for it, but without a fight win, they're not able to build on any of that. They did a great job flipping the point, forcing the fight on the objective, but at the end of the day, without a win, it's still going to be in the hands of Green Fortnite. By the end of this fight, that percentage is going to go right back their way, and still the ultimate economy looking at very heavy towards Green Fortnite, and X10 is already being a menace.
Yeah, Kuna going down there too. Monarch just isolated. There's going to be a lot more ult charge headed into Green Fortnite's hands real soon. You already see that Sahil has the Terror Surge back, and Halo also with the beat drop.
I mean, this is just it's ridiculous because X10 is fighting these kills before the fight even gets started. Like, we're not able to go super in-depth to how these fights are going on because X10 is just ending them before anything gets going. Chillionaires is stepping up to the plate and catching a heater right to the head every single time.
Kuna is able to sneak onto the point, get a little bit of that progress, trying to spam down Sniper, take down that back line, and you should be able to see soon, but without Kuna putting down the pressure on the front line, X10 just goes insane and immediately takes them all down. They've got 94%. They need a contest to come in now. Halo still has that beat drop in, but on the other side, they don't have the ultimates contest. The overclock comes through, but even with Eevee switching on to the Genji, it looks like it's going to be too little too late. Green Fortnite takes that first map with ease.
And already they have infinitely increased from their performance against Chillionaires early in the bracket in 0-3. Not gonna happen today, at least for the Green Fortnite side. They have already turned that goose egg into a french fry and looking to build a little bit more on that as we move along here. I mean, this is just an absolute ridiculous performance off the back of especially X10. It's a DPS meta, and this is the DPS you want on your side. Utterly performing. You can see why the one fight that Chillionaires was able to win was a 5 ult investment. Everything invested for 43% on the point, and that was the high watermark of that Nepal for Chillionaires, and they really do need a response right now. It's got to come from the support line and from the tank line. I think even if we're having an amazing day from both of these DPS for Chillionaires, they're not going to be able to step up to take X10 one-on-one right now. You saw Eevee having a little bit of success with it off on the flank when, countering out that overclock that X10 had. They managed to hit the headshot, force X10 back in, but then right when they rotated back into the point to actually tuck back behind their Orisa, the damage to the Orisa was too much at that point. I mean, everyone else on Green Fortnite is plenty good to do the damage. It's plenty good to help fight for space. And as a result, there's just not an answer on the DPS line from Chillionaires. And so we're going to have to see them play antsy to what the current patch is. Reject the fact that this is a DPS meta and really focus on the support line and tank battle and figure out how can we win those ideas.
Oh, definitely. And you can see how much pressure Chillionaires are under basically every second of the map. You mentioned the 5 ult investment that they needed to win, and that's because there's so much pressure and space being taken by both the DPS line and Sawhill. Their tank is just always trying to find ways to take space and make these angles impossible for them to peek their head out. I think Eevee is getting shut down a lot, especially when it comes to X10 and Bun just being able to have complete dominance over all these angles. Sniper as well with the Kiriko just spamming the kunais at those angles, can't peek out for 1 second, especially on the Tracer. Just such a squishy champion, and it's so hard to get behind them.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of damage coming out of everyone from Green Fortnite, and it's brutal across the board. Waiting for that next map right now as we get going. I think one of the main things that we should see from Chillionaires is a map type that wants to play closer. Anything you can do to either have a good dive onto the backline and chase down the Sojourn, chase down X10, or have a good brawl where Sojourn is forced to fight in a little bit, I think is a success for this Chillionaires team.
I must say that X10 is just a master of the mouse button 1, mouse button
insane.
2.
It's insane. Like, she clicks heads. That's what she's here to do. That's what she's always done, and it's not looking like it's really gonna ever change. I mean, we got what's the map? We got Hybrid up next. Eichenwald, Parisi, Midtown, Hollywood. Hollywood's a good dive. None of those are really close in.
There are definitely options there, but I mean, it's also, even with the dive, that backline is so survivable. I think Sniper and Halo are an excellent backline in and of itself, but now with the heroes that they're playing currently, I mean, Kiriko, you have the wall climb, you have the Suzu. Lucio is just really hard to catch in general, so they are going to have to execute a dive comp even then very, very well in order to try to win this one out. Eichenwald looking like our next map, and that, I mean, it's not a horrible one.
No, I mean, it's this is a field of bad choices. I feel like Eichenwald's probably one of the best one. Like, for any map you're
the lesser of the evils.
Yeah, for any map you're going to choose, it's going to have strong high ground and the ability to put a Sojourn up on a ledge and just have them shooting at heads. Like, anywhere you go for that, it's going to be this. I'm sad we don't see Eevee on the tank today, because Eevee has an amazing dive from their tank.
Are there rules against switching in the middle of the match?
I don't think Monarch has a DPS. It's the problem. Like,
okay, that might be a factor.
Yeah,
you're correct.
I mean, this is just, it's gonna have to be interesting no matter what we see from them. Like, Eevee not able to be on the dive here is absolutely brutal, because that would be one of the counters you're looking for. First point here, you do get to play it a little bit more brawly than we would other parts in the map. Second point really leans itself more towards a dive and a poke. Third point becomes that brawl fight again. So it's what Chillionaires is more looking for. Streets phase, that second part, is probably going to be the most difficult to get through for Chillionaires. So if they can get through, if they can have a good first point, if they can get through second point, we should see a pretty successful map from them. It's just going to be that challenge in the middle right here, as Green Fortnite already looking to play up a little bit and take some aggression.
Yeah, I mean, the Reinhardt is definitely interesting here, kind of looking like a little bit more rushy, and the Baptiste denies those angles a bit more as well, using the Symmetra teleport to go around and try and get themselves onto the point and onto higher ground. I mean, it's an interesting play here to get a good angle on top of Green Fortnite, and it looks like they're trying to head in, but just getting harassed from the sides. Eevee already going down very low.
I mean, we're in the EU region. It's the EU dive. It's Reinhardt, Sim, Cassidy. Like, this is classic European stuff. played by a mostly American team that's importing themselves to this region. So way to adopt the culture, and so far, well, having some success on it.
It's all about that culture shock, and the hinder causes Monarch to just immediately collapse. Eevee looking to get some damage onto Sahil, but there is just so much sustain coming through from this backline. Sahil doesn't even need to take the space. Bun and X10 have got that all handled.
Yeah, this isn't... So normally the way that we see this sim dive played is you're putting a teleporter basically into the enemy team, be on a high ground right behind them somewhere, so you can dive in with all of that cleave damage from the Reinhardt and not have to deal with the approach, just to explode out at somebody. But it looks like Chillionaires here are more likely to be using this as a teleport for a good rotate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if this looks like something that they've really been rehearsing. X10, it's just on a tear through their team. That's a team kill for Green Fortnite. But on that same train of thought, do you think this is something they brought out specifically as a counter, or is this something that they practiced?
I feel like this is something that was thought up right now, based on how they're playing it. This really seems to be a... You know what? Let's hit it. We're in Europe. Might as well. The fake teleporter as well. Got a little bit of those mind games coming out. But there's so many ults from Green Fortnite right now.
Green Fortnite just has so many ults out the wazoo. And they're going to use most, if not, or only 2 of them. But the combo is enough to keep them up alive. The beat drop keeping them up, the Terra Surge getting so much damage down, and Chillionaires, they're kind of grasping at straws here. They even used that Symmetra ultimate, the Photon Barrier, to try and dance in and out, but they couldn't get themselves the point.
Yeah, I mean, this is just... I love Ryan as much as the next person. I want Ryan to be back in meta, but when you're 3 minutes in and 72% to an Earth Shatter, you might want to start rethinking your ways.
Okay, both of the Deadeyes going to cut him out. Kuna actually does secure Sniper, but that's after the Kitsune Rush comes out. Hopefully that is enough to try and help this team through. Halo doesn't have the beat drop up though, so if they're able to get them dangerously low, Halo has no way to save them. Kuna and Eevee are making work, and they are putting in the DPS, taking down X10 and Halo, getting those 2 ticks up, and there's no way to re-engage now. A really nice start from Chillionaires thus far. 3 minutes now to get through Street Space.
Yeah, first point, got through it. Now's the hard part. How can you play this Reinhardt brawl in what is, without doubt, the most divey portion of this map? Gusty already... Oh, the Pharmacy? This is... Okay, this is wild. Okay. Not only is this the Pharmacy, this is pre-rework Pharmacy, where Far doesn't really play with the Mercy like she used to. So, it's gonna be interesting to see how these two connect trying to make this work.
Oh, this is definitely going to be an interesting one, and usually when you have a good farmer scene, you kind of have to have this team adjust a little bit. Green Fortnite, they've actually switched onto a Junkrat here as that shatter comes through from Monarch. They're actually winning this through. Kuna's able to take down Bun. Gusty does go down to X10, but otherwise they're still pushing this cart through. You have Halo dancing around in the back line, sure, but as long as they're not hindering your progress, what's the problem here?
Yeah, if the cart goes forward, who cares? It's an objective game. Doesn't really matter if you lose the fight. I mean, they've unequivocally lost this fight, but it's not going to matter because they got 2 fight win progress out of pushing this point along, and they're still doing it. Just no one's touching the cart. So finally, Halo gonna come and at least contest it a little bit. But they're right out too.
I guess free second point if you want it. Okay, we have that backline that's coming in. X10 looking to follow up, and Sahil now onto the ball, looking for something. Sniper actually does take down Monarch. Kuna falls as well to the hamster, and now Fiery using the amplification matrix to deny a little bit of space, but Sahil rolling on behind, giving him a few shots, and then that's going to be the end of that push. It's going to head backwards.
I think they might have a case of the sillies.
Green Fortnite?
What? I know. It's one of the craziest things I've ever said. I think they may have a little bit of silly gamer going on right now with X10 on. You know, X10's on the jump. We got the survives through it. The Suzu is there, everyone stays alive, and with everyone now falling down. I think it's going to be one good fight left from the Chillionaires trying to find their way in, and they don't. Well, maybe this Barrage and Valkyrie is what they need to solve this problem.
Yeah, you know, they do have a little bit of ultimate economy in the back pocket. They finally have this barrage that the Valkyrie goes through, but they are using every single ultimate on the side of Green Fortnite. They've used both support ultimates. The beat drop does come through, and Sawhill is still contesting this cart. Eevee has nowhere to hide, trying to go for the back door on this team. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. And we also have the tire.
10 seconds left, so probably a touch coming through. Yeah, there's going to be Monarch able to just backdoor it a little bit right there. And as Kuna finds a pick, I don't know how much is going to be left on this one, especially with the tire. Kuna looking like they might be just a hero here.
Well, they gotta hide from this tire somehow, but Kuna is just immediately taken out of the sky here. Monarch looking to try and get a little bit of contention. Fiery is still close by, but it's a Lucio. How are you going to get saved? Fiery wants to find a little bit more progress, but it is not enough. The point blank Deadeye on Fiery when you can't hit the Lucio. I mean, that's real. That's incredibly real.
Yeah, I mean, hey, why put in the effort of aiming when the game can do it for you? I
you just press Q, and then you stop, and then you stop moving your mouse.
You know, you can't miss a Deadeye. Ain't no one ever missed a Deadeye before, and not gonna miss that one today. This one's just rude, and what's even more rude is the fact Suzu.
She did not die.
It didn't even matter. So, yeah, nothing really looking here from the Chillionaires, and Eevee is maybe locking down the tank now as Gusty is gonna keep on this Mercy. Oh well, never mind. Gusty still forced onto the Mercy. Their Lucio, their Pride and Joy, Fiery has adopted them. So Chillionaires, I think at this point is just trying to find the option that works at the end of the day. I mean, Green Fortnite, they've really figured it out. This is a huge DPS line, just war that is going on right now, and X10 and Bun seem to be dominating it. I mean, credit to everyone else on Green Fortnite as well. Sawhill is doing a great job. Halo, they often fade into the background, but they are performing plays time and time again. And anytime they need to pull out the insane Lucio gameplay, they've got it in their back pocket. They just don't need to so often right now, and so they're not taking the chance. They're just letting their team work in front of them.
Seems like something is happening in the chat here. Like one of Chillionaires might be missing, but it seems like they're going to go ahead and go for the push anyway. Bun on the Widow. Definitely interesting, fighting in a close quarters with Kuna with the Mercy pocket. It looks like Sawhill might be able to go down. They're looking for the resurrection. Gusty does fall to Sawhill's spear right before, but Green Fortnite, they're not able to get much more on that point except for one tick at the very least.
It's progress. I mean, hey, I'm not going to say no to it. As Green Fortnite does seem to go through a little bit of a comp swap as well. Bun on the Genji now.
They have a case of the sillies
coming out from the Sniper, so they are getting a little bit silly in the chat as they try to deal with the Pharah with a Genji.
Okay, I mean, why not? Chillionaires, they're actually falling very low, but Eevee's able to hold on to her life and find two. Sniper going down means a lot less burst healing for Green Fortnite, and Gusty is going to be exchanged for Eevee and Kuna's wreckage onto Green Fortnite support line.
And just like that, another fight gone, another fight went in the books for the Chillionaires, but another tick as well for Green Fortnite. So Chillionaire's gonna have to. Okay.
Okay.
Alrighty.
That was a little personal.
Hey, sometimes you gotta solve a problem, alright? And the best way to do it is unrelenting firepower. If I've learned anything from Helldivers, bombs are the best way to solve the problem.
You have a problem? Have you tried blowing it up.
Have you tried explosive devices? I've heard it works great. I mean, hey, how Valorant ends their rounds, right? Why not steal a little bit of that style for us to end first point? Granted, it goes to the other side, but that's just details. Green Fortnite here, X10 finally off the non-binary character and onto the lesbian. It is lesbian visibility week, so hey, it just works out for them.
Happy lesbian visibility week, everyone.
Exactly. So X10's just representing. They're giving us the representation that we all need right now.
Eevee getting very low here, just going to dance back and forth. Kuna still up onto the high ground. Sahil, no contention on the cart just yet. Bun falling to Eevee is good, but X10 trades it for the tank, and they're missing a lot of that presence and health. Their Surge is going to give a lot of overhealth to Sahil. There wasn't really anyone in there. It seems like they're just able to sustain through all of it. And now, without the Mercy, Kuna is going to be very low, not able to recontest in the fight. Dragon Blade from Bun doesn't look like it's going to get anything as Monarch looks for the recontest, immediately shredded through by the Orisa.
Hey, I'll have you know that Dragon Blade from Bun made Eevee kill themselves. So
Okay.
It did find someone, just not in the way you would normally think. Just didn't show up in the kill feed. And as everyone is pushed to here, oh, never mind! Heroic Valkyrie Gusty, it is your time to shine! Let's see it!
It's the Mercy aim in action. Monarch coming down with the Meteor Strike. Finds Halo. X10 falls as well. Staying up with the help of the Mercy is going to be able to sustain a little bit longer. They're not going to let that cart progress. Oh my god. The spear right into the abyss for Eevee. And now Sahil is just solo contesting here. You have Bun coming in real close. And now Halo might be coming back in for a little bit of support. But it looks like Sahil's health just is not moving. The barrage just come through to take down Bun, but Sahil is still alive. That tank, you cannot take her down. They are going to be on there for quite some time. And now the Terra Surge already built up as well. They have to touch somehow. Eevee goes onto the Tracer, but it is not enough. After an extended fight, Green Fortnite are going to be able to win the second map in a row.
It did get a little bit more extended there, off on the end. So it's showing it is with signs of life to close us out here on this map. But at the end of the day, it is just going to be the Fortnites taking their victory very cleanly. I would say off the back of their DPS, but this one really just felt like, you know, off the back of having fun in that big team after.
I don't know if I would call this game clean. I don't know if that was the word I would use to describe it.
Maybe, yeah, we're mixing a little bit. We've got some dirty beverages going on.
Definitely not neat, you know?
This is a Red Bull and vodka is what this is. This is not a clean, neat drink. Oh my god. Yeah, Gusty right there getting knocked down. It's not in the replay, I'm so sad, but one of my favorite plays, the last fight was kicked off by Eevee trying to mark down Bun on the Soldier, and Sahil just seeing that and going, oh, you wanna go get the Genji, I can help with that, and just spearing them right off the ledge.
I know, and at that point, Eevee also had their ultimate. They had the visor, and then they had to switch onto the Tracer. So it was a really unfortunate last fight there, just off the back of Sahil dancing around that point. I swear that they were there for like a solid 30 seconds, and their health just did not move at all. Nobody hit them, and it's just so insane to me. But Green Fortnite, they definitely played that one very well, and it seemed like they were having fun with it. Chillionaires also, they got a little bit funky as well. They tried to switch things up. They played the EU dive in a very NA way. And we're headed on to that next map and see what they can bring out this time against Green Fortnite. Definitely looking like a reversal from what we've seen so far, though. Since Green Fortnite, they did go 0-3 last time they played Chillionaires. So they're coming back real strong.
Yeah, with that, though, we're going to give both of these teams a chance to rest, recuperate, get their minds back in it, see if we can make any adjustments on those Chillionaires side. We're going to take a short break, but don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more EU Overwatch action.
my downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side. My love, you say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Welcome back to Kunoichi CGL EU Open. We are in the lower bracket finals of Chillionaires versus Green Fortnite. I am Epitomes, joined by Loki, and we are so excited to bring you the third map, which will either advance Green Fortnite into the Grands, or we'll see Chillionaires holding on for one more map of this series.
Yeah, which gets us a rematch in either variation of those notes. Chillionaires dropped to lower bracket by the hands of Metagirls in our grand finals. Meanwhile, Green Fortnite beating Metagirls in pool play. So no matter how this one goes, we're going to see a little bit of a rematch. This one, already the revenge grudge match of a round 1 loss for Green Fortnite. And thus far, they have managed to find their revenge. We are up 2-0 to the Fortnites, and it doesn't look like Chillionaires has the answer as of right now. Hopefully, we see the change here. We're going into a flashpoint. So if you want a long map with lots of different chances to try something new, this is exactly the map for you.
It's looking like New Junk City. Very interesting here. I mean, I'm curious if they're going to be playing into a dive composition this time around, because we saw kind of a hover onto the Winston, but it wasn't locked in. So I'm wondering if this time they're going to actually attempt to go for that.
I would say if they were going to play Winston, we would probably see a Sarabasa there instead of the New Junk City. New Junk City just doesn't have the entryways that you really want to see to be able to play Winston. Playing like Winston, especially out of that little room that you can see there on the right, makes me sad inside, because you can't jump through it, you can't jump into it, you have to walk all the way through it to get your jump out, and during that entire time you're just taking damage, and the last thing you want to be doing is giving X10 the ability to do damage to you. So I imagine we see a Brawl come out here for the Chillionaires. I would actually be interested in seeing like a Zarya or something out of them, because you at this point, I think it's washed to try and set your DPS up to win. Like, it's just not gonna happen.
It's cooked.
We've tried it for 2 maps, it ain't working, and so I think you just like, screw it. Let's just put all of the damage into our tank. Let's run like a Baptiste Lucio or something. Give them all the healing they could ever need. Let the Baptiste do damage. Let our Lucio go crazy. And plus, you're playing 2 main supports. One of them has to know Baptiste. It's kind of a main support character. So I think really the answer for Chillionaires at this point is just run it down on the tank. Like, what else are you going to do to change fates here at this point? You've got, at most, 5 points to figure it out. DPS battle hasn't gone your way. I think it's time to just punt. Go for the Hail Mary. It's either going to work and you get to see more of it, or you're exactly where you are right now with X10 and Bun making your life very, very sad.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, it's definitely going to be really difficult if you're going to put them into the DPS 1v1s and you're going to try and go head for head with the DPS here. We already saw that there is a lot of pressure that can be put down by X10 and Bun. So now I'm just curious on how they're going to try and play this one out. If they're going to make those adjustments and try something that we haven't seen before, or if they're going to go stick to that same old and be like, we can do this, we got it, hype themselves up. Kuna's already hovering a Junkrat, so it's New Junk City. That seems very fitting. Maybe Junker Queen too. Why not?
I wouldn't be against the Junker Queen at all here, actually. I think that's an entirely reasonable decision. With what we've seen from both of these teams, it's certainly different. It's not what we would be used to seeing in this scenario, unless we would go about a patch or 2 ago. But it's something new that sets things up differently. We're not going to see it. It's just going to be Monarch locking it down. Only little change here is going to be Kuna on the Junk, which again still sets us up for a good tank battle here. Going into the Zarya might be rough, as they're just going to be able to charge up to 100 so quickly off of the Junkrat, but still a difference in the making here. Can the Rat solve the problems of the Chillionaires?
The Rat is an incredibly insane way to put this, but the Zarya on the other side is doing a bit of work. Sawhill already shredding through Monarch's HP pool, and there was no support there whatsoever from the back line. It seemed like Fiery and Gusty were just too far away to help keep Monarch up. Now X10 does go down to Kuna, so the Rat has done his job, but Sniper will trade that one right out also and take the point capture.
They're sticking with it too. And Monarch is switched to the Zarya as well. I love it. And so a lot of aggression, a lot of damage. The focus right now for Chillionaires is X10. He's on to that venture as well. So this is all damage all the time from both of these sides right now.
Yeah, the Zarya mirror is going to be an interesting one already. We see the picks being traded. Chillionaires are going down relatively quick, though. Bun already getting the stick, but not going to take down as too much more here. Able to back out. Bun is just doing so much damage, and Monarch falling now. This is not the greatest first point that you want to see from Chillionaires.
Feels like we a little bit switched the mode to TDM. Both of these teams just taking 1v1 to 1v1 to 1v1, and as of right now, Green Fortnite seems to have the edge there. Sawhill sees the trap, walks into the trap, takes the attention, and oh no, Gusty pays for it.
Yeah, Gusty is kind of getting shredded a little bit. Oh, but the rat finds two. Halo goes down, and so does X10 on the Venture. And now it looks like Kuna's looking for more. Sniper and Bun are gonna find those picks right back. One support, one DPS. We can do that too. And the flashpoint has already gone over to Green Fortnite's side, but they're still fighting around it. Kuna, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, and it's Sniper that finds the pick.
Yeah, I mean, they're great picks there. Kuna right at the end. Would have been a little bit more useful if there was an objective there.
Right?
Still, it's gonna be Green Fortnite getting set up for us first.
Okay.
Halo showing us the moves as we just take a seat right into this. And if that doesn't show you how comfortable Green Fortnite is, I don't know what will. Showing there's a lot of ground to get moving here, and Kuna wants to start us out racing in with that bubble.
Yep, Sawhill able to absorb a lot of that with the bubble as well. And it seems like Monarch looking to head in. Kuna already just gets shredded, though, right over the top with the blast. And now Sawhill just has almost a full charge of shred straight through Monarch. There is not much that Chillionaires can do. It's already 50% on the point. And Chillionaires, they have not found an answer just yet. I mean, Kuna has had some great picks with Junkrat, but like you said, not much objective focus here just yet. It kind of does feel like a TDM.
Yeah, and a lot of times we're seeing Kuna coming from the top rope to go 6 feet under very quickly, and they're not able to find a lot of that. They're just not able to find a lot of this longevity damage that you're really looking for with the junk, and sure enough, we see it right there again as Chillionaires maybe deciding to give this one, get ready for the next. Is exactly what's going to happen, but in the meantime, Halo and Bond still on the back line.
In the chat, you see Kuna saying, my team needs to get active. Bun doesn't quite get the stick from the pulse bomb, but still getting a lot of damage down. They're going to force Bun out here, and now missing a DPS. X10 is trying to get something done. Eevee's already gone down with the overclock in the back pocket, though. And now with the beat drop to keep Green Fortnite alive, Chillionaires are struggling a bit more to find those picks. Sawhill does win that Zarya mirror, and Monarch lose the Zarya mirror going down. Monarch coming out on top, but can they secure the objective? Monarch doesn't have much support here from the back line. X10 from over the top, just gonna take down that tank.
It's another high investment fight from Chillionaires. I wish I could tell you what they were fighting over though. Eevee here, looking to see if they can get the 1v5 off this overclock. No, as it was, Kuna is also here. You can see those grenades.
1 HP! Literally 1 HP!
Hey, that's all you need. The only HP that matters is the last one. Like, oh, Tire here, not gonna happen this time. So, Bun's on the Widow now. When did that happen? Alright, yeah, as Kuna's saying, huge counter swap there from Bun. I don't know if you noticed, we're actually labbing out the next Overwatch patch right now. Widow is actually going to be the next Junkrat counter. So, this is just a forward-thinking play from Bun.
Yeah, it's a rework that's going to make Widow into a junk counter. And now we have the Sigma switch from Monarch, already 60% on the point. It is not looking good for Chillionaires. Oh, Kuna's not going to win the 1v1 against Bun either. So Bun on a bit of a tear, but they're able to get that Widow out of the game. Not before Monarch just gets shredded, though. Sawhill standing still, lots of confidence from Green Fortnite, and X10 just, you know, standing on the point. It doesn't look like Chillionaires are going to get anywhere close. Gusty does take out Halo, though. Support diff.
Wait, Kuna? Can they find them?
Oh,
You couldn't find. Oh, what? No, we don't get to see.
supportive?
I suppose we should watch the objective. Here goes Gusty on the Moira, and the point has flipped. Let's go, Chillionaires. Get a little bit of point aggression now, and
Oh my
Gusty
God,
actually
actual
taking
support
it.
diff.
Let's go.
It's actually a support diff. They have the Moira, and all of a sudden they're winning. All you have to do is switch Moira and hold mouse button 2.
All of you people in ladder be taking notes. This is what peak performance looks like for Moira. Leave your team, fade in, only damage orbs. You will rank up, I can promise you. And your team, they'll love you for it. It is the only way to play this character.
You don't need to heal. Unfortunately, Gusty does fall. It looks like this point might flip over, but they need to hold on. They're at 99% here. Monarch goes in onto the Doomfist, finds Halo, stays alive with 1 HP, but they needed some sort of healing, and it just wasn't there. Now flipping it over, there is no one there to contest. So unfortunate. Since they do have 3 ultimates on Chillionaire's side, they just are not able to get there fast enough. Now Green Fortnite with 3 in a row, 3-0 Chillionaires, and advance to the upper bracket.
Grand Finals. Not even on the horizon for Green Fortnite. It is the next stop on their train. At the moment does not seem to have any sort of brakes on it. They are just running through the opposition right now off the back of plays like that. You thought that would be X10 leading us in to that final highlight reel. You were wrong. Bun, just as capable of putting up insane highlight level plays, and you can see exactly why right there. I mean, this is just this is just a game where every single person on Green Fortnite is able to be the Twitter clip for this team and really show exactly what they can do.
The human highlight reel, X10, and Bun as well. I mean, this team has been together for so long. It's really no surprise to me that they're able to do so well. And at the same time, they seem to be having a lot of fun doing it too. They have so much synergy with each other. It seems like they always have each other's backs. They know when they want to go in, when they should disengage. And it just seems like they have really good communication through the whole way through. Chillionaires, they're kind of grasping at straws on what to do when it seems like Green Fortnite, they always know where they're meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, this is a team, like as you've said, they've been together forever. But one of the biggest things as well, when they have brought in new people, for a lot of the time, they're bringing them up from the same org, from different teams inside of Timeless is where they find a lot of their new players. And so these players already know the system, they already know how people play, they already know exactly what needs to be done, and it shows time and time again. Green Fortnite knows exactly what everyone else is doing on the field. They know exactly where everyone is going to be, and they're able to play together so perfectly in this matchup where they understand the macro level, that framework that they're working under so incredibly well that they can adjust to really any situation. And even when they're playing silly haha fun comps, they still know how to play the correct way with each other and to chart them to a win. I mean, this is a team that has been not put together, but crafted over time and chiseled out of stone to give you the current figure that you're looking at right now.
Yeah, they have a very deep understanding of the game and one another, and that's just exactly what you want. We know that this team is good. They are very proven. They have a great reputation in the Calling All Heroes scene and other tournaments as well. We just know that if they want something done, they can get it done. Maybe a little bit of a fluke the other day when they went down 0-3 to Chillionaires, or maybe they were just doing it for the content. And we definitely did get quite a bit of content today. So now we're going to get the grand finals ready for you. It's going to be Metagirls versus Green Fortnite. And on the other side of the break, you are going to get to see who comes out on top of the Kunoichi CGL EU Open. See you then. It is a match that you have been waiting for. We are in the grand finals of the Kunoichi CGL EU Open, and it is Metagirls versus Green Fortnite. And if you had just come back from the lower bracket finals, you would have seen Green Fortnite in a stunning 3-0 be able to beat Chillionaires to get up here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a bit of a turnaround here for Green Fortnite. They played yesterday without their leading DPS, X10, and now that X10 is back, this is a completely different team. They were good before, but now they are great. They beat Metagirls day one in I believe a 1-2 or 2-1 affair going to the Green Fortnites. So Metagirls here looking to take that back. Metagirls has had a little bit of a war in the bracket so far to get here, going all the way to map 5 against the Drainers, then taking down Chillionaires, who they also dropped a map to, but that performance, dropping a map to Chillionaires, is not going to be adequate anymore. You're going to have to be just about perfect to break through this Green Fortnite squad.
Yeah, I mean, Metagirls, have been staying in that upper bracket, so they definitely do have some firepower to their name. But is it enough against Green Fortnite, who we just saw do quite a bit of damage onto Chillionaires? Now, looking at the Metagirls lineup, what are you thinking here? Double Lucio.
Double
Yay.
Lucio! It's Lucio time! No, I mean, this is... I personally work with Seika. They're my main support for the teams that I coach. I love her. She is absolutely wonderful, and she's a menace on the Lucio. When she is feeling good, there is no one better. They take a lot of duels, they take a lot of one-on-ones, and they like to win those fights. For the rest of the roster, this is an entirely Europe-based roster, other than that Seika and Niza over on the end there, coming from China to show us what it can do on that Tracer. Should be very, very fun from them. This is a team that is going to have a little bit of a ping diff against a mostly American roster on the other side. So natives versus imports is the name of the game for this one.
Yeah, we're going to see how that ping diff is going to work over on the other side. On our first map, we do have control, but Green Fortnite, looking at the roster again, you mentioned X10, human highlight reel in her, but also doing quite a bit of damage. This backline, incredibly survivable on their own, and even under a lot of pressure in a dive. Sawhill, also very survivable, very independent, can get a lot done, takes a lot of space, as we just saw.
Yeah, I mean, Sawhill's really been performing all weekend. They just don't take damage and they don't die. And that fact allows their support line to be looking for a lot more damage, to be really pushing the aggression onto the other team. And thus far, it has worked. Sniper and Halo both doing an amazing job in that backline. Halo especially has the ability to just pull fight wins out of nowhere sometimes. So very, very strong performances from them throughout. Meanwhile, Bun and X10, you know who they are. Without an introduction, I think you can go with that. Here, though, we are in a first 2-4 setup. This is our map pool for the event, switching it around a little bit for the order on this last one. Actually, nope, we're not. We are still going control, hybrid, flashpoint, push, escort. So, flashpoint there, mentally move it into the middle for us. But map pool on this one, really leaning towards that dive, that longer kind of poke brawl that we see from the Orisa. I think a lot more, Cassidy and a lot more Tracer than we would see a ton of like Venture and Reaper on a lot of these maps, because it does get pretty hard to set up with a Venture on maps like Junkertown.
Yeah, it is going to be really interesting to see if there are going to be changes as well, because we saw Green Fortnite just mess around with their composition a lot. We saw Venture sometimes come out. There was an Ashe on Nepal. We saw a lot of different DPSs, in fact. There was a Far Mercy at some point. We also had the Junkrat on both sides, if I remember correctly. So who knows what we are going to see in Metagirls, who might be playing the meta or might not be. It's impossible to tell at this point.
I mean, at the end of the day, the teams are gonna be silly. Like, this is a team from Green Fortnite that is innately a silly team. They are the Fortnites at the end of the day. You don't go into a tournament with that name and expect to see, entirely serious play. If I remember correctly, there are specifically Green Fortnite, parentheses, Drill EU version, end parentheses. So we've got some silly going on. I mean, it's going to be a good fight here from Metagirls to try and find their way back into this tournament. Not back into this tournament, as I was, to find an area of this roster that can be exploited on the Green Fortnite side. And the moment Metagirls have it, they need to hammer at it with every single thing they have. Going into this one, we are starting on Samoa as our first map to get us moving today. Samoa, very interesting because it's a lot of different map types that we see. There's that downtown that people really like to play dive on. There's beach, which leans itself more to a pokey composition. And then there's lava, which is a hardcore brawl in no escape map. The only way you're getting through lava is if you have a good close game. So this is a whole smorgasbord of different comps and different map types we can see just here on map 1.
Yeah, we're going to see possibly a lot of changes from the both of them, and I am really excited to see if we finally see a dive come out from either of these teams, because if you want to counter what we see Green Fortnite is, I guess, is their quote-unquote meta composition, then a good dive might be able to just edge and pressure the DPSs out of the fight and force them onto picks that might not be as comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, a dive is probably, as you said, the best way to break through it. You can really focus down those important targets and just remove them from contention outright. And anytime you can get a X10 off of your back, you're going to be perfectly happy to do that. I don't know any team on the planet that said like, oh no, we're perfectly fine to just let X10 sit over there uncontested and shoot at us. And if anyone has said that, I imagine we'll find them in losers bracket and eliminated. So, I mean, anytime you can focus a diveable target like Sojourn, force a swap, or Cassidy, which we've also seen X10 excelling on today, you're going to be very, very happy to do so. The comp Metagirls, they say their favorite comp is that Sigma poke, really, taking some step back and hitting those long shots. I would be surprised if we saw that today. I don't really know that we want to put the DPS in a position where they have to be absolute DPS diffing here. I think Metagirls is going to want to lean on their tanks and supports a little bit more, even if they've got the DPS on the exact same level as X10 and as Bun. You don't really want to be setting up for a dice roll of what DPS is going to win the day for us. And I would be surprised if they started off on that kind of style. Here, it doesn't look like they are. Metagirls right now loaded up on just about default. Only thing they've got changed is that Widow. I imagine that changes before we get started. Green Fortnite also starting out on that default comp. Only difference there is Bun on the Pharah. That one I would be more unsurprised if we cap, but
never trust them. Never trust them at the beginning of the game.
We are not going to keep it. And here they are, Simtelly out. Everyone is playing default. Everyone is standard, and we are off to the races in this mirror composition for the beach.
Well, they both get there at the same time. Doesn't look like we have the rollout from Green Fortnite's side to try and get to the spawn of Metagirls as quickly. But X10 putting down the damage early. Oh, Seika going down early. It's not a good start for this one. Bun is able to find that pick, and it allows them to take so much more space forward here.
Yeah, lots of damage coming out from Green Fortnite. Smart by Metagirls here. Just back up a little bit, give a little bit of point percentage rather than try to take the fight and give a lot. And now we see those lanes being set up as well for Metagirls. That Lucio and Tracer off to the side going to be so important, trying to punish out the DPS here. And already X10 is gone.
Yeah, X10 has fallen in quite a few fights before, but we always see Bun trying to take up space and step up to be more of the damage, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen this time around. Bun is in the backline trying to spam down Nyanza, but in the meantime, Sawhill has fallen and they flip that point right over. A lot of contention here already from Metagirls.
Yeah, really good laning for Metagirls right now as well, with that Psycha and Mystical Frog off on the side, putting a lot of pressure. And this is a good change of pace as well, getting right in with the gates.
Yeah, and now the Kitsune rush to force them right through that building. We're a little bit behind on Green Fortnite's side in terms of ultimate economy. Mythical Food already having the Pulse Bomb. Bun has one to counter here, but Mythical Frog is actually just staying on that point to make sure we don't have people force through. There's a Kitsune rush. Green Fortnite gets straight through. Not a stick just yet with the Pulse Bomb on Mythical Frog's side, but Halo, on the other hand, is going to be able to find so much with the boop on Mythical Frog. Sawhill cleans up that fight, a team kill to flip the point back over. Green Fortnite don't take kindly to be flipped.
Yeah, Green Fortnite so consistent about being able to take that damage, take that aggression, pull out, and then charge right back in. It's exactly what you saw there the moment gates went out. Everyone from Green Fortnite just disengaged and now ready to go again. Ult economy onto the side of Green Fortnite now, so they get to decide the pacing of this fight and when they want to take it.
Yeah, Bun fishing for a pulse here, looking for Mythical Frog, forcing the recall, and that cooldown is so valuable to the Tracer, now missing a DPS. Bun is still looking for more, tries to spam down the Lucio, and Seika will fall as well. Now Terra Surge going to come out, Halo falling on Hitori's Terra Surge, but Bun is still looking for more. We've been hyping up X10 quite a bit, but Bun hasn't even used this Pulse Bomb and has been able to secure 3 picks for this squad.
Oh, well, there's the Pulse Bomb. Not gonna find anything, but still trying to see if we can't fish for a kill that might end the map right there. Bun able to take on the 1v2 performance right now from Frog and Seika and come out with a win. So an amazing performance by them as they kind of shut down this laning that Metagirls is going for. We need to see Niza step up here with this overclock.
Both overclocks now coming through head-to-head from both the Lucios and the Sojourns. See who can find one more first, and it's the Kitsune Rush to come out from Sandtech, but it seems like Sniper also has one in the back pocket. Could potentially flip it over, and they do. Metagirls are able to find it. Green Fortnite deciding instead to just back off and look for a re-engage with the 2 ultimates that they have. Neither of the overclocks found anything, though, and now here's the stick to come through onto Halo. No Suzu to save that Lucio, but there was no ultimate there. Now Sniper really has to work overtime to keep Sawhill up. The Terra Surge does come through for a little bit of that overhealth and armor and keeps them alive. Now flipping the point back over, still in overtime. They have to recontest somehow, but Nyanza is the only one close enough. Now we have to look for the rest of the squad. The Lucio isn't able to get on for long. Mystic Frog has to go for the recall instead, but it's bought enough time for Hitori to come back. Still, the Orisa doesn't have the support from the back line. It's a spam on through from X10, and Green Fortnite will take that first sub-map.
In a challenging affair, though, this is not what we saw earlier. Green Fortnite really having to work through it. There's no time for silly now. They've got to play default, and they have to do it cleanly. At the end of the day, the biggest difference between these 2 teams right now is just the amount of damage that Green Fortnite is putting out. Sawhill, you saw there how well they kept themselves alive with just a Suzu and their own abilities, managing to get through everything that came their way. And as a result, Sniper is able to spend so much more time fishing for damage, fishing for these headshots. And whenever they find one, everyone on Green Fortnite is ready to take advantage. Metagirls here not winning consistently on that laning phase right now. I would like to see them commit a little bit harder to it, see if they can't break past Bun, get back to X10, as now Green Fortnite rolling out on that hard brawl composition that we were talking about for Lava, and oh no!
Nyanza just got shredded, and X10 takes down Seika as well. I feel like when you are consistently having both the Lucio as well as the Sojourn fall so early, it is just a guaranteed fight loss unless they can find some heroics to come from Mythical Frog, but it doesn't look like we're going to see any in this team fight. Now first capture going over to Green Fortnite as per usual.
Yeah, you really have to respect any damage and any shots that are coming from Green Fortnite pre-fight. People tend to get lazy in that area. They're thinking, oh, you know, I'm safe, we're not in the fight. Not true against this team. At any point, Green Fortnite's going to be looking for whatever kill they need to find that first shot and get themselves onto the board.
Yeah, they don't even need to really play on the point here. Need to actually go for the touch as we have Hitori tucked into a little bit of a corner to try and get the contest. But the hinder onto Mythical Frog, there was nothing that they could have done against that. Halo taking that pick and now forcing the rest of the team back as well. That Tracer was really trying to relieve pressure off of the team from the DPS line, but without Mythical Frog up, it is so much more difficult. Now we have that Kitsune Rush coming through from Santex to try and push them backwards, and it works, but this Kitsune Rush now doesn't get them onto the objective.
No, they're not on the objective, and still a lot of damage coming through for Green Fortnite. Mythical Frog does have a pick on the X10, and the push to the window in here needs to be incredibly clean. They've got it into this tight brawl space, but the beat comes through!
The beat drop is so good from Halo, but Sniper does still go down to the damage from Mythical Frog. Bun, however, will trade that right back. You want a Tracer diff? They can give you a Tracer diff. Bun just shredding through the health of Hitori as well. Now without a tank, what is Metagirls to do except give this point back over?
That's an expensive 20% as well. 3 ults for it from Green Fortnite. Metagirls only investing the 2, so ult economy going their way as they managed to find a tiny little bit there, working through the bank of Green Fortnite. And this is huge, actually. They've got a good kill all set up. The recall already out. They just have to figure out, can they chase it down? Yes, they can!
Yep, Mythical Frog now finding Bun. This Tracer 1v1 still has a lot of content left in it. Looking for the heroics now. Pulse Bomb does come up, trying to harass Sniper and make sure they can take them and separate from the line, and they are able to. Sniper now falling. They're missing the burst healing. They need something from Halo, but there is no beat drop to be found. Seika, on the other hand, beat drops with no problem, and they're going to flip it over once again. A lot of life from Metagirls here, even on the mirror composition, or almost mirror composition, the only difference being X10 on Cassidy.
I like you talking there about the Tracer 1v1, because really it's not a 1v1, it's a 1v2. Halo right now is with the rest of Green Fortnite. Meanwhile, Seika is really pushing that Tracer duel, and it's leaving Bun in a little bit of a hard position as they try to find a way to live through all that pressure.
They tried to force the way onto point with the Deadeye, but it doesn't actually find anything here. They've already taken down the Immortality field, and now it's that one less cooldown to try and save them. They have the Amp Matrix coming up pretty soon, but on the other side, the Kitsune Rush is ready as well. Bun needs to find something with this Pulse Bomb if they want to have a hope of breaking through the defenses, and with the Amp Matrix looking to force some positioning here, immediately that Kitsune Rush goes through, and what a shot to shut down Bun with the Pulse Bomb in the back pocket as well. And now with overtime coming through, Green Fortnite were able to get the flip, but Metagirls immediately take it back. X10, nice shot though, shutting down Mythical Frog. The DPSs are really doing their jobs here in the Tracer matchup. Nyanza looking for a lot of damage onto Sahil, but immediately the beat drop, both Terra Surges, the stick onto Hitori is going to allow Green Fortnite to force this fight through in their direction, in their favor, and Mythical Frog, even though zooming this way and that, needs to find a way to touch the point, and that's the only hero that could have done it on Metagirl's side. Green Fortnite, they're able to scrappily shut this one down on the second sub-map and win out map 1.
Yeah, but I don't think that 1-0, 2-0 map score really shows you how close that game was. I think one missed shot there from X10 onto Mythical Frog right at the end could have been the deciding factor between this going to a round 3 and it getting shut down right there. So a little bit of, not careless movement, but missed movement by Mythical Frog, giving X10 the shot they need to find the head. All that is the difference between winning that map and extending it. Great performance by X10 and Bun, but we are seeing the path to victory here for Metagirls. They need to keep winning that laning, they need to keep being aggressive onto Bun. They've shown that if they take that Tracer fight with Mythical Frog and Seika there, they can come out of the side with the victory for it. And once they find that victory, there isn't a ton stopping the rest of Metagirls committing on to X10. And with X10 down, this Green Fortnite team is great, but it's definitely not what it is when you've got this powerful of a hit scan in your back pocket. So really, really strong, good job there by Metagirls to start crafting their victory path. It's going to be a question though, can Green Fortnite shut down that crafting, shut down those adjustments and that learning before Metagirls figure it out? We're in a kind of race to 4 right now, and Green Fortnite, as of this far, is first off the starting line.
Yeah, and now we have Metagirls, they have their map pick on the next one, and they can kind of choose what ground they want to play on, if they want to continue to keep playing this brawl style, or this brawl poke hybrid, and they're using a lot of space with the Tracer. I think Mythical Frog is doing wonders for this squad, putting so much pressure onto that backline, and being able to basically harass Sniper and Halo out of a lot of these fights. Sniper at the very least, because that's a source of a lot of their burst healing on the Baptiste and the Kiriko. And when you don't have Sniper there to try and keep Sawhill up, it's so much more difficult to be taking space and always trying to step up and take space around those angles.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for this next map, we've got Hybrid ready to go for you. Eichenwald, Parisio, Midtown, and Hollywood. The map's up for selection here. Your question about how do you take this is a really, really powerful one, because you've got the opportunity here to take a dive. We talked earlier, dive is a good looking comp for this team. It's a good thing to be looking for in this situation. But Brawl is also very, very strong, because as we saw, you can win on the lanes here. Parisio is an interesting choice because it is a very dive heavy map. It is a very flank heavy map, but it is also one that provides the ability to look primarily for Brawl front up. You're running it down with your tank, that's an Orisa or a Sigma, and you're letting your DPS take their 1v1s off on the side. So I think this will show us what Metagirls thinks can get past the Green Fortnite squad based on how we play this. If we see them full commit to a dive, then they've acknowledged, hey, we just have to kill X10 or Bond. We have to get a DPS to start us off. And then from there, our life is a lot easier. If they go for that Brawl setup and allow their DPS to take their wars off on the flank, I think that's them showing we can win this laning phase. We can trust our DPS to win these 1v1s or 1v1s with the Lucio help. And that can get us to the path to victory. We just need to put the pressure on this team enough that we can put our pushes together, and that should be all we need. So this is a trend-setting map right now for both of these teams, especially because we're about to be able to see Green Fortnite's response to what they saw of, hey, we're losing on the lanes, we're losing that Tracer Lucio. And in order to solve that, both of these teams are playing dive. Green Fortnite has actually adopted a little bit of a counter dive here on defense, bringing out the X10 on Cassidy, Sniper and Halo on the Brig Ana. The only real attacking, diving in character that they have is Echo, and even then, Echo tends to play as a midfielder. Metagirls, however, has full committed to the aggression on their attack. Not a single person going to stay behind on these dives. It is a 5-man engage here for this roster, and this really is a showing of what both of these teams prioritize right now.
It's definitely going to be a little bit of an annoying one for X10 specifically, and Sniper, but you do have Halo looking to really defend that other support, so it's going to be mostly X10 that is absorbing a lot of pressure if they do their target selection right. They've already passed that bridge and looking for a higher angle. Nyanza has spotted the Echo, a little bit of damage onto the Nyanza, and actually getting zoned by the Echo's bullets. So we have them on the higher ground looking for that first engage onto the point.
Deep dive here from all of this team. X10 is going to catch a little bit and rotate. And as everyone tries to just find the one isolated target here, there's no isolation. Green Fortnite does a really good job there of dropping to cut sightlines, forcing everyone from Metagirls to way over engage, dive into the backline, and give themselves up a little bit of this counter dive. And now Mythical Frog sectioned off from the rest of this team. If they can stay alive, it can be a good pinch, but if they die, it will be a massive stagger.
Yeah, it seems like they should be able to survive for a little bit, looking for another engage, but Mythical Frog is so completely split. We have Hattori looking to regroup now. The bubble does go down as Sawhill looks for a bit of damage onto the back line of Metagirls, but is forced to disengage and try and protect this back line. And that's all of it is about, splitting Green Fortnite's attention, forcing them to choose between applying pressure and diving back onto the back line. And now Hattori finding Sniper. It's a decent fight for Metagirls. They do lose a few in the process, but they might be able to get a little bit of tick on. Not if X10 is on a heater though. See if she can get anything done here.
She's got
looking like she's backing off.
She's got that Deadeye in her back pocket. Their team here to help her. It's going to be the Deadeye engage. Swing around the end. That clears everything. That's going to give time for Green Fortnite to fully recontest here and regroup. But Halo, look at this from the Pulse Bomb.
Oh, and now we have that. We have Sniper with the Nano Boost onto Sahil, looking for something, doesn't actually get the Primal Rage in time, or had it, but isn't able to activate it. But on the other hand, Hitori is wreaking havoc on the back line here. Bun might be able to try and sustain a little bit, knowing that they lost Halo in that fight, but they still lose the objective because of how split they were from Hitori's push.
Yeah, I mean, Hitori doing a great job there. Great beat as well from Psycho. Normally, we don't see those nanos beat, but what it did was it gave everyone enough space to deal with the brutal Sawhill nano on point, just keep hiding around it. And Hitori as well with that extra beat damage able to go in aggressive. Oh, forced rally just for a little dive in. That's huge.
Yeah, Halo got so low just from the dive from Hitori, and now they have the rally gone and can't be used for the next fight. And that's a lot of overhealth that can be provided to an otherwise pretty squishy team composition. Now we have the Kitsune Rush from Santex, forcing a lot of damage forward. They are failing to contest this point at all. Now 3 minutes left over, and they're already over halfway through that streets phase. They're looking up for the fight on the high ground. I mean, this is part of the problem too. You have to have that on high ground. You have to have her good positioning, or else she's just going to die. And now they can't get anywhere close to the point. A lot of damage done by Bun, however, forced to fly off, still doesn't have that contention.
Metagross here really slowing down the pace of this fight. They're looking for one good dive to close it. All of this mid pressure, all of this little attack here and there doesn't matter. They want the one blow, but that one might be the blow to shut them down.
Yeah, the overclock used by Nyanza is a big investment, only to find nothing. Mythical Frog and Santex, they're going to just try and bring this one back. Bun does have the duplication, but with the Primal Rage in the hands of Hitori and now that auto-aim Tesla Cannon, Bun does not have any hope of escaping. Sahil might be able to prevent themselves from getting staggered. Very possibly. It seems like they're regrouping with the support, so they'll stay alive, and now the Nano Boost will be the recontest that they need to make sure to stay on that point, though. There is no one else who is contesting other than that tank, because they need Sniper to stay so far back, otherwise they just die. That double headshot onto X10 to take down the Cassidy as well. Sahil still has the Primal Rage, though, and they're still contesting. Now with the Beatrox from Seika, keeps them up quite a bit, but Bun is on a tear. Bun with the Primal Rage duplicate is just able to push everyone off the point. 1 minute 40 seconds left over, and they're able to hold on. It seems like Seika went from the back door, doesn't work out. That's a bit of a stagger.
A big investment there from both teams, but it is Metagross who's going to be bringing the ult economy into the next fight. 3 ults on the table for them. Mythical Frog going to be looking for Halo or Sniper here with that Pulse Bomb, trying to find their way through. St. Tex most likely the opener with that Kitsune Gate. They need to do this one quick. If it goes too long, he's going to get ults on the table, but Sniper already down with that Pulse.
Yeah, Sniper is getting hard focused by Mythical Frog here. Now the entire support line is gone from Green Fortnite, and Sawhill can't sustain even with a Primal Rage. That's an ultimate invested into something that was bound to fail as soon as that support line went down. Now Nyanza has also switched on the Echo, looking for the mirror matchup onto Bun. X10 now mirroring Mythical Frog, so a bit of a switch up here. Nyanza and Bun both on the Echoes, and Mythical Frog now against X10 in the Tracer matchup.
I mean, I love that change for Metagirls because they've recognized that they can just ignore Sawhill. Sawhill's going to dive in, but there's no one really that they can stick to. Everyone on this Metagirls team has so much movement. They're just waiting for Sawhill to go in, forcing a dive, and they're just walking right past her and not getting punished for it because they can't get punished for it. The tank presence from Hitori is just too good right now.
Yeah, Hitori is doing an excellent job of zoning and just forcing Green Fortnite into these impossible decisions. Do you help your backline or do you continue diving? Without your backline, what are you going to do? But if you change focus, then it's going to be a lost fight. Hitori now coming in as Nyanza switches onto the duplicate on Ana, but it's not even necessary. You just have Ana keeping the entire team up, extra burst healing, while Hitori goes in with a Primal Rage and is able to get so much done here.
I don't think Metagirls will get under a minute here. The stick doesn't find the kill, actually. So Green Fortnite is going to have a full contest and no ults here on the table here from Metagirls. So every ult they can get out is probably huge. I imagine they're looking to take this one to another fight. Means they need to play aggressive here, get their ults, and then be able to push back in. As I said, now the support line is up, ready to go, but Metagirls quickly charging those so that they have a full fight here.
Yeah, Metagirl's support line is doing an excellent job of relieving this pressure. X10 taking down Mythical Frog early. That's a really excellent start to this fight, though. They might be able to sustain a little bit longer, but Santex is getting shredded even with the Kitsune Rush and Beat with all the extra armor and overhealth. Bun now shredding through Seika's health, and it's just Hitori left over. They're able to hold on to this. 25 seconds left. They need to recontest, and they need it soon. They used every ultimate that they had. Hitori might be able to build up to the Primal Rage soon, but on the other hand, Sahil already has it in the back pocket, and both DPS ultimates online. Bun has been on a tear with this Echo before and has been able to get a lot done with the duplicate.
Yeah, it's a long shot here for Metagirls, but it is a shot. They took that last fight in just enough time to be ready for one here. Touch is going to come through from Mythical Frog. Hitori is the big person to look right now for Metagirls. They've got to get this Primal charged up, and it has to be amazing.
Oh, the recall forced out from X10. They do have that Pulse Bomb fishing for a pick here. The overtime has been activated. Now Hitori Primal Rage forced out, trying to get all of these players off the point. The Pulse Bomb goes out, doesn't find a stick, doesn't find the pick. Neither does Mythical Frog's own Pulse Bomb. Now the recontest from Bun with the duplicate, but is immediately forced out of it. Sahil, however, will find Nyanza, and that's the Echo 1v1 won by Bun. On the other side, Sahil is able to clean up Hitori, and they don't get the full capture, but they come very close. Metagirls have got Green Fortnite on their toes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I don't know that you can expect a full cap against either one of these teams. Green Fortnite's playing at such a high level right now that asking for a full cap on third point Paradiso, which is already a pretty slow map third point, historically very hard to capture. I don't think asking for a full cap is really super reasonable right now. So getting it that far is incredibly meaningful for this team, and now they're in a defensible spot. The question is going to be on this defense, can they run this with the same pace that they did before? They're not going to be able to just ignore Sahil. They're not going to be able to just look for Sniper and Halo in a super diveable spot and not worry about the objective for a minute. They're going to have to play around what Green Fortnite is giving them, and the fact that they have to stand in a specific location sometimes. They cannot just choose the fight location wherever they want, however they want. They're going to have to contest point. And that is where we see a lot of times these these incredibly aggressive comps start to falter a little bit, is when you pin them down to the objective. Green Fortnite here, starting off on a very similar comp that they had before. They're still rolling out on the Ana. Sniper has been consistent with those antis. That's just a Widow shot with the Lifeweaver X10. Don't worry about that one. They're going to swap right back, and there it is. As Bun actually seems to be sticking the Widow here. So Green Fortnite really committing to a counter dive poke. Nope, they just wanted to take a shot. Everyone has to get involved. As Sahil
everyone has to take a shot.
Yeah, one by one, just get in the left. And Sahil here is going to start us off on the dive.
Yeah, Sahil already putting a lot of pressure onto Seika. Hitori, however, finding Halo, and now Sniper's in a really vulnerable position, so it looks like they might have to back up, but Sahil keeping up the aggression. Santex does use that step to get next to Seika and keep that other support alive. Stalled outs were a bit on Green Fortnite's end, but still keeping up the pressure on the high ground.
I think we're seeing Seika at her best today. They are at their best when they play this aggressive Doodly Lucio that wants to take a lot of attention and get out with their life, and it is absolutely working on this team right now. They are outpacing the main support ult charge by a ton. Look at Seika versus Halo right now, and you'll know exactly what a big difference is in these rosters.
Yeah, I mean, it's so difficult for Halo to get that ult charge up when they're not playing aggressive. Ooh, Bun going to have the sticky bombs, maybe kill themselves a little bit. And now Hitori is going to go in once again, so aggressive, and splits them up so much. Green Fortnite is actually struggling a little bit to adjust to what Metagirls is putting down.
Yeah, and I think we've seen Metagirl's answer to how do we deal with somewhere where we have an objective. Just don't allow them to ever touch it. If they don't get onto the objective, we don't have to be there either. And Metagirls is really increasing this pace. Mythical Frog already invested the recall now into this fight, so it's going to be interesting to see can Metagirls adjust without their Tracer being able to full commit for the next 10 seconds.
Yeah, Sahil once again trying to put the pressure onto Seika. Seika gets out with their life and now also has the beat drop in the back pocket. Even though Santex falls, they are able to force out the Kitsune rush and fight on the lanes on the top of the site. And now Hitori is also just going to shred through Sahil's health. Nyanza on the Sojourn here is also doing incredibly well to shut down X10 with the railgun shot.
Big commitment there from Metagirls. 2 ults in, 3 with the pulse. Green Fortnite does have a little bit of advantage in that ult economy. Metagirls has overcome that before though. Hitori able to go so deep with those primals, make a ton of space. If the overclock can come through, if Nyanza can hit their shots, then they will be able to hold this point for a little bit longer.
Yeah, and now we see that Bun has taken out the duplicate is on the Lucio actually. They want that extra bit of sustain. Halo's also taken out the rally and the Primal Rage from Sahil will find the backline from Metagirls. Now X10 shredding through a little bit more health and you have Bun using the beat drop to help secure them the point. It's 1 minute left over and they might be able to hold on to this. They might be able to go for the recontest. X10 playing very far up and very aggressively to ensure that they don't even get a chance. And now 3 more minutes on the clock, but Metagirls have been in a better position than this when they were on their attacking side.
I think, didn't they both have about the same time? 3 minutes? So both teams here.
I believe I remember them having like 4 minutes to get their street space.
Green Fortnite a little bit behind the pace here then, is X10 getting fought out of their location. Green Fortnite going to have to pick up the pace. You saw how brutal that 3rd point can be last time and how much of a time suck this 2nd point is. Now with the cart in motion though, Metagirls is going to have to put a lot more pressure in that area. They can't just kill people before they touch the cart. They're actually going to have to take it here.
Yeah, and now Hitori going in with the Primal Rage. Nyanza shredding through Sniper's health. How are you going to keep that Winston up without the help of the Ana? It seems like the break isn't going to be enough. 97% on the Nano too. That's devastating for that fight, and now they have to back up. 2 minutes, 30 seconds left, and every second counts. You saw how far Metagirls were able to push this cart, and they are putting Green Fortnite on their back foot.
Saika is so good at getting out at low health. You can see every time how much attention Green Fortnite is putting her way, and it's opening up Nyanza, it's opening up the Mythical Frog, it's opening up Hitori to take these aggressive encounters because they're just not getting looked at. Everyone's trying to chase down the 1 health frog that nobody can seem to kill.
And Mythical Frog actually does get very low here. X10's able to finish it off. That's such a good start, just getting distracted for 1 second. But Nyanza is going to look for the duplicate, gets very low and is forced out of the Winston's body. But Seika will try and save with the beat. It's going to be enough. Sniper gets taken down before X10 can find Santix, and Hitori is able to pick up a mega health pack to keep themselves alive. But that means that they won't be able to contest the cart. Nyanza and Seika both fall over on the objective, and they should be able to push this one a bit further forward.
Now, 1 fight left here for Metagirls. It's not going to be a super clean one. They're going to have to war to this point, and without anything other than a pulse in their back pocket. Ooh, Hitori's already so low!
Hitori just completely gets shredded now without a tank. It's going to be really hard to contest. Maybe the Tracer can find something here. Mythical Frog misses the stick on the Pulse Bomb, and it looks like they're still looking for the contest anyway. It's a minute left over, and they might be able to tread down this time. It doesn't look like it. They're able to find that 2nd point, and now 2 minutes, 20 seconds left to complete this 3rd point capture.
I mean, no reason not to go in that situation. You want to take whatever time you can on the clock. Ooh, great play there by Saint-Tex. Does just enough to get out with her life and keep things moving along. I mean, Fortnite completely loaded up here. They're taking so much space. That cart can just continue to roll in. Metagirls is going to have to retake a lot to do it. But once again, Hitori has Primal. It feels like they do every single fight, and they're set up to use this one again here as Nyanza falls low before we get nervous.
Yeah, Nyanza getting very low here, has to back up and relieve a bit of pressure off of their backs. But now, looking at Halo, we have that rally available if they do go for a dive onto this backline. Sawhill drops the bubble to try and defend those supports and has to disengage. Sniper still goes down despite the efforts of Sawhill, and Sawhill's going to fall as well. Nyanza follows up incredibly well onto this with the sticky bombs, and Bun is trying to contest back. X10's the only one to find a pick here and might not even be able to escape. But for the next fight, it's 3 ultimates on Green Fortnite's side in their hands.
It's a fight that works for both of these teams' plans. Metagirls manages to win using only 1 ult. Green Fortnite manages to get that ult without losing too much time and a lot of cart progress. Problem though, Cart needs to go for another about 2 fight wins of progress to get the victory, and there's only 50 seconds left on the clock. So Green Fortnite needs to get moving, and they need to get moving quickly if they want to be able to cap with any amount of time and any amount of buffer.
Ooh. They force Hitori out of an aggressive position though, and they stick! Now Hitori is out of the fight once again. X10 has been excellent at pressuring this Winston out of the fights, out of their backline, because Sniper just absorbing so much pressure is horrible for their game plan. Now with the duplicate on board, it's every single ultimate from Green Fortnite that can be used, will be used. They use the nano onto the break to keep her alive, and Sawhill's able to single out Seika. Now with Bun in the backline on the Tracer, we know this is a comfort pick, and it is so easy to pick out Mythical Frog. 10 seconds remaining, overtime just in the clutches. Hitori has to go in, but gets shredded. Now someone else has to go for the contention. Nyanza completely destroyed, and there's nothing left after Seika goes down. No one can touch. Green Fortnite in a cinch are able to get the second map, but that was an incredibly close one from Metagirls.
By the skin of their teeth, Green Fortnite manages to take that one, and it all comes down to that second to last fight. Metagirls didn't have the idea of, do we want to commit to this? Are we going to give this in recontest? They weren't fully on the same page, and as a result, they didn't die together. They died drawn out after investing a lot into that fight. And what that meant was they didn't have a good touch coming back to that point. They didn't have any ults to break through the fact that they're going in for an overtime touch. They didn't have all the people together in spawn at once, and they didn't have a clean fight. The fight prior to that where they could have taken it there. So everything just came together as right in the last moment, Green Fortnite forcing Metagirls into a situation where they didn't have really any great plan, and it ended up kind of turning into no plan as a result for this team. Metagirls is just about to have the answer of how to deal with Green Fortnite. Every single game, every single round has been closer between these two teams, and as we keep in mind, this is a first of 4. So even after this one, Green Fortnite is gonna have to win 2 more maps, and with it continuing to get closer, with it continuing to get tighter, with Metagirls continuing to learn and evolve, and we see their game plans being well executed here, just needing that little bit more to cover the gap sometimes. I would be incredibly surprised if we saw this one go anywhere near a sweep.
Yeah, I mean, Hitori was doing such an excellent job. I just want to comment on how good they were at putting down the pressure onto Sniper, especially Sniper, it felt like was getting picked almost every single fight. But at the end, Green Fortnite were able to adjust, and they were able to find a way to keep not Sawhill, but Hitori off of their backline and even get them picked before the fight even began. And towards the end, that's really where Metagirls stopped gaining their momentum, and they were losing momentum instead, while Green Fortnite was slowly building towards that final fight. And now on the other side of the break, we are going to see if they are able to find the answer to what Green Fortnite has been putting down, or if Green Fortnite are going to continue plowing on through. See you on the other side.
Feel my heart, it's beat tight. All my body's breathing, it's just you and me. Feel my heart, it's beat tight. All my body's breathing, it's just you Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you wanna cry, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose.
Trudging forwards onto map 3 of Metagirls versus Green Fortnite. And we are going to see if Metagirls are finally going to have the answer. On Paraiso, it was incredibly close, and in a first to 4, every single map counts.
Yeah, and I think we saw really by the end of that map the response to the response, if you will, because we saw early on Sahil kept diving in. They were really going for these backline dives. Everyone on Metagirls was just ignoring them. By the end of the map, we saw X10 and Sahil really committing to poking out Hattori as much as possible, making their dives in as weak as possible, and really finding a lot of success there, relying on the poke and the counter dive, letting Hattori come in first and then Sahil working to counter it, which isn't something we've seen a lot from this Green Fortnite team throughout all of this. Their regroup has been really good, but consistently Green Fortnite's tried to be the team fighting first. They want to be the team initiating this fight, and then if they regroup, that comes later. We saw there them really adjusting to the pace that Metagirls was putting out and finding their own ways of countering that play. So this Saravasa here is really going to be good for the response to the response. If you want to play Winston, if you want to force a dive here, it can be done on Saravasa, and we saw how good Metagirls looked on that style. I wouldn't be surprised if we went back to that laning style that Metagirls has been running on that first map for the Brawl, and we saw Green Fortnite going back into their denial of that strategy, running the Cassidy, running the Baptiste, that kind of deal, really trying to force a tight-in Brawl like they did on Samoa. I'm interested to see, have the changes been enough? Have we learned enough on both of these rosters to then adjust back to that style and take what we've learned since then? It looks like Metagirls actually wants to go with something a little bit different here. We've got Iridescent in on this Cassidy looking to fight for a little bit of those longer angles compared to what they did last time. No Nyza, and it is going to be Iridescent and Mythical Frog. So I think this is a complete style swap from what we saw before. And we got to pause before we go in. I wanted to know if we were going to keep the Ramatra or not, unknown. Green Fortnite looks like they're going for a little bit more of an int comp. That Genji Venture is kind of the brawl dive that we've been seeing a little bit as of late. You go super aggressive, your Venture pops up, Genji gets the dash through. Hopefully that should be enough damage to find you a kill. It's been pretty effective on higher levels. It does require a lot of coordination, but what is Green Fortnite if not coordinated, honestly?
Very true. Green Fortnite, I mean, they love to have a little bit of fun. Venture is like somewhere in between. We're still trying to find their place in the meta, but you know, there's like somewhere in between trolling, having fun, and like actually a good pick.
I mean, yeah, they're incredibly strong if played correctly, because like anytime Venture goes in, you can count on them getting a pick for it. Like that's pretty assured of, so long as you hit the util, someone's dying. Problem, do they die too? And so the solution to that a lot of teams have been putting out is, well, if Venture is going to overcommit and get a kill, wouldn't it make sense for just everyone else to overcommit then? And then we can maybe all get kills? Because once you're one up, you're allowed to overcommit a lot more than you would otherwise. And so teams have been running this Genji Venture hyper brawl dive thing that we've got going on as a solution to keeping the Venture alive and then utilizing that extra pick that you would have at the start. Because Venture really truly is good for one. It's just, it's what comes after. That's always the problem with them.
Yeah, always need to see if they can be good for more. So, yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting change to see how Green Fortnite play this as well. If this is something, once again, that they've done in practice or in scrims, or if it's just something that they're like, why not? Because it's something new. And what happened before was, well, that kind of worked, but we kind of struggled, so maybe we should try something different.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Metagirls is trying something different. We've got Niza sitting, which I'm incredibly surprised for. They've been performing, I mean, she really has been an incredible hit scan throughout, both on the Sojourn and on the Echo last map, I believe. Here, though, we are going to see, I believe it was Iridescent coming out. So we've moved from China to home in the well, not home in the EU anymore, home in Europe, I suppose. The British hit scan coming for us with Iridescent. They have listed their favorite stuff as Tracer, but we're going to be having Niza on, not Niza, we're going to have Mythical Frog on the Tracer, so we're probably going to see something a little bit different. Technically, they have Mythical Frog listed as a flex player that wants to play Alari, so I imagine we can see her just about anything, but as of right now, they've got a little bit of a difference in the lineup they want to go.
Well, we'll definitely see there. I mean, is Alari really an incredibly viable pick at this point? Yeah, it's I feel like it's a little bit difficult to play Alari at this point, but you know, who knows? Maybe they are an Alari one trick, and at some point they're like, I hit every single shot, and you are going to die if I am playing Alari. But it's obviously very difficult. Also, my cat has decided to join us to watch today's
jump
matches.
Yeah!
So he's up there now.
We've got friends. We got the audience. I don't need Twitch chat anymore. I have cat. We've ascended. No, I mean we're also seeing the Ramatra. I genuinely don't know if that's a troll or not. Like, I'm gonna be fully honest with you. It might be a haha, we're having fun, or they might be running it. Ramatra's in a really weird spot right now where he's not bad. I just don't know that he's good. Because you have Orisa right there, and Orisa's going to do exactly what Ramatra would, but easier. So
rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Orisa's just an easier Ramatra right now. Is really what it comes to. Meta a lot of the time isn't necessarily like the best thing to play. It's just the easiest thing to play, and Orisa's pretty easy to make work right now. Ramatra takes a lot more effort and a lot higher of a skill ceiling. But I mean, I'm not one to really not trust Hattori. Like, Hattori's made it work. Hattori's been making it work. And so I'm not going to say no to this. They are rolling out on it. This is a hard, tight together brawl looking to probably outpace whatever Green Fortnite can put down. We're not seeing the Venture actually getting run by X10. They've changed their mind, gone back to that Sojourn that she is so skilled at. And so not quite the default comp here for Green Fortnite, but just about as close as we're getting.
I have Hattori moving on to the Ramatra. We'll see if this is a difference maker. Over here, Sahil just weaving in and out of this wall, looking to get a little bit of damage down. A lot of Metagirls falling very low, and Halo actually securing the pick onto Mythical Frog. So now missing a DPS, Iridescent is able to trade it back onto Sahil. Without the tank, it's going to be difficult to contest here. Bun is able to stay alive and try and get some contention onto this point, but it should be a first capture for Metagirls. Unless, I guess, Green Fortnite has something to say about it, which they very clearly do.
Yeah, still fighting this in. Mythical Frog gonna have a lot harder time on the flanks than they did last time. Fika has to stay with the rest of their team and not really go and help them on that flank. So we're gonna see now, can Mythical Frog fight for themselves? Thus far, they haven't really been able to. Iridescent also getting down as Niza apparently just has to go. So that's why we're having Iridescent in. That's most likely the reason for the swap. Green Fortnite here really working to try and find just all of the advantage, all of the pressure they can. They're getting for it in spades right now. I think we're going to see a big DPS versus tank border in this because Sawhill obviously taking a lot of damage to start us off. That's why Mythical Frog switching to them, really just looking to force out Sawhill above anything else. It's going to be up to Bun and X10 to do the same damage in a less advantageous position for it. I mean, Green Fortnite has the ability to push the lane and sustain through. Metagirls has the better damage.
Yeah, Metagirl's going to go ahead and use the Amp Matrix as well, forcing a lot of positioning here and taking down X10 as well. Using both of those support ultimates should be able to get them this flip, even if it is in overtime. Sawhill comes in for the recontest. They have that Terra Surge, but is immediately shredded by Mythical Frog on the Symmetra.
It's just damage versus kill potential is really what we're seeing right now. Everyone in Metagirls is able to do a ton of damage. Meanwhile, everyone in Green Fortnite able to really confirm these kills without too much issue. So a low health target, much more threatening for Metagirls than it is for Green Fortnite, but the damage output from Metagirls is just immense. This isn't quite a spam comp because it's still a brawl, but it's about as close as we can get to that kind of style while still technically running the brawl. With this everything that Metagirls wants to be putting out here.
Yeah, looking to try and zone off Sawhill from the supports. X10, that's such a good kill secure. Okay, they're gonna have to hide since that spear did miss, but it still just doesn't find much on the dead eye. And now Hitori does have the Ramatra ultimate, should be able to get some space if it comes down to it. Now Halo forcing them through with the beat drop and so much overhealth for this squad. They're gonna go ahead and try and suffer as I have, but Hitori does go down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big thing here is anytime someone gets low on Metagirls, they can take them down. But this fight is not over yet. But as I say that, the point is capped, and it is in fact over yet. So yeah, Saika and Mythical Frog, they're doing what they can to try to bring it back, but not going to happen. And they get unlucky as well with this next site that they have to go defend. Green Fortnite already there, ready to go, ults in their back pocket. And anytime Metagirls gets low on any character, X10 or Bun is there to shut them down. So Metagirls really does need to just rely on Saint Tex to get everyone above half health at all times here. They can just pile on the damage.
Okay, starting things off with the Dragon Blade, immediately forcing out the Immortality Field, but it doesn't even save Santix. Santix immediately goes down, and in turn, that's going to mean Hitori falls without the Baptiste to save them. Now Sawhill is going to use the Terra Surge to get a little bit of extra armor and sustain on the objective, while Mythical Frog gets shredded by X10.
Yeah, Metagirls, a little bit of a cap. Not going to get more. They're just having such a hard problem with taking a lot of damage, and X10 is just able to shut them down time and time again. Anytime you're below half health and X10 has blue, you're gonna die if you're in that line of sight. And Metagirls doesn't really seem to have an answer to that right now. The healing from St. Tex, I think they're expecting people to be able to get a little bit lower health, but they're just not able to. Green Fortnite right now is just too consistent at finishing out of these targets.
Yeah, and using the Kitsune Rush as well. Metagirls have been getting a little bit of damage down with the Symmetra turrets, but now with the overclock, X10 just trades all the damage right back, forcing out the Immortality Field cooldown. They do get the flip onto the point, and Metagirls looking like they're going to hold on to it for a while longer. Bun now on the Venture, looking for a confirmed pick onto the backline. Santix survives though, and that was the problem with the Venture that you mentioned before. Sawhill now has to try and bring it back for them, but 9 HP has to back off until the supports can come back.
An aggressive suffer there, yeah. That's a heroic teleport there from the Frog to get Hitori back out and stay alive. But this fight win on tap is now iridescent. Falls low, shouldn't do terribly much. But this Venture, exactly as you saw, they can go in, they can do a lot of damage, but can they continue to stay alive after? Oftentimes the answer to that question is no. And with 10 seconds left, Green Fortnite here is going to have to make an aggressive push off of their Venture most likely, trying to get that first initial damage. But X10's already gone.
Oh, the Deadeye to come through. There's no way that they're going to be able to contest this. Sniper did try and immediately goes down for it. Halo has to go ahead and use the beat drop to attempt to sustain the team through, but Bun is in so much danger, can't find a pick on the objective, and now there's no one contesting the overtime. The flashpoint goes over to Metagirls, and now they have to look for the next.
Yeah, Bun there not able to get in early enough and do the damage. Venture really restricted pre-fight. There's not much range on that damage, and so pre-fight, everything has to come from X10. And if X10 gets taken out early there off of a pick from Saintex, who has been putting out the damage on this Baptiste, life gets so significantly harder. Saintex really has been heroic this entire match so far, putting out all of the healing anyone could ever need, keeping everyone health even when they're at one health situation, and still finding their damage.
Ooh, the immortality field comes out and it's immediately destroyed by X10. What a combo. Even with the Amp Matrix come through, Sawhill knows, goes right through the Amp Matrix on the other side and forces that positioning. A team kill to start things off over on the third point.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that's too terribly sorry. Like, Venture, Orisa ult together is probably one of the strongest combos in the game. You're happy to get that out and have it done with for very little investment for you. I'll trade a window for an Orisa and a Venture ult all day long. The thing that matters here is the response. When a girl needs to fight back in, relying on this spin wall in order to find the good engagement.
Yeah, now looking for the photon barrier to try and allow them to dance in and out, but that is so much damage onto Hittori. Without a tank now, they're teleporting out, they're backing up and retreating, giving up so much space for free that they have to. Santax has already used the immortality field and immediately goes down right after it's taken out. So now without that cooldown and without Santax on the table, it's going to be hard to recontest this one at 85% already.
I think you just have to give. Yeah, oh, they don't know about the Venture either!
Oh my gosh. The drill dash going to dig underground as well. Of course, the Venture is going to get a pick there onto Mythical Frog. Yeah, they have to give that one. There is no way. The fight still isn't over yet, though. They want to get a little bit more ult charge, a bit more damage onto Sahil, make sure they can get a stagger, but they kind of need to rotate.
Yeah, so this is one of those kind of like moving brawls where both teams are trying to find their way to the point and they just happen to be within the line of sight of each other. So might as well take a few shots in the meantime. And as Halo falls, that's going to be Sawhill as well. So Metagirl is now set up to have
ult economy.
Yeah, I mean, Metagirls has just been banking them because they haven't had any good engagements. Green Fortnite as well has just been banking them because they keep getting things for low investment. And this is going to be the everyone presses Q fight.
Yeah, now Amp Matrix comes out, the overclock, as well as both support ultimates on Green Fortnite's side. That's a run over from Green Fortnite, but they're only use the Amp Matrix from Metagirls. They use 3 ultimates from Green Fortnite. It's an expensive fight, and they have 4 left over from Metagirls' side to re-engage onto this point.
Yeah, but the long-term strategy at this point is not going to work out for Metagirls anymore. This is the last objective they can try to find. They've got a lot of ults back in their table, and there's no reason to keep them. If they don't win this zone right here, right now, that's going to be it for this map, and that puts them on a match point losing side. Not the place where they want to be, and this engagement in the back line is a brutal rotation attack!
Oh my god, Seika goes down with the beat drop in the back pocket. Iridescent tries to stay alive. The immortality field is used to attempt to keep them up, but the sustain just isn't there. They use the photon barrier, but there is nothing left for Metagirls. Yes, we saw the overclock being used, but Bun now has the Venture ultimate, and it is going to be incredibly difficult for them to recontest. It is 80% already, and they have quite a ways to go.
Metagirls needs to do the one thing they haven't been on this map so far, fast. They've got to take the initiative in the fight right here with 3 ultimate back pocket. Hattori already in position for it, looking for some. The Deadeye to help them out. The teleporter doesn't get used for the Deadeye, but it does get used to attack, and Saintex falls for it.
And the beat drop from Seika will sustain them a little longer. Seika's able to stay alive as the annihilation comes through. Hopefully Hattori will get something done, and they do. They're able to find every single pick, and a team girl from Metagirls is exactly what they needed. I said team girl. I meant team team kill, but
they're team
I guess
girl.
the girls are fighting. Team
they
girl.
are team girl. There is no he hims on Metagirl. They are team girls. They are the Metagirls. And
Yes.
so, looking clean here. The no ults left in their back pocket. It's going to be all up to the application matrix. This is going to be a low ult fight regardless. The thing is, Green Fortnite is pinned to this objective. The moment someone from Green Fortnite steps on, Metagirls has to go deal with it. X10 really getting fought out right there. Any amount of space that they have is going to lead to a brutal overclock here. So Metagirls really committing hard, just zoning out and marking all of the DPS from Green Fortnite.
Ooh, a little bit of progress from Green Fortnite as well. Iridescent immediately shutting down X10, and Metagirls are holding on to this point. Sawhill doesn't have a lot of places to go, needs to try and keep themselves up, stay close to these supports, but it seems like Sniper might be out of the fight early. Uses the Kitsune Rush to try and get through, and the Terra Surge as well finds Seika. However, they did force out the Immortality Field cooldown, and Sawhill doesn't have much further to go. The contention is there, and now they should be able to take down Hittori with them being zoned out from the rest of the support line, using the Photon Barrier now, but the Venture Drill Dash is just too strong. Overtime going over. Saika is going to go for the contest, but still, even with the beat drop from Halo, there is just no way to take down the players of Green Fortnite. It's going to be map 3 going over to Green Fortnite UK drill version once again.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a pacing issue right off of Metagirls, I think, because they've got good fights set up. When they can really focus on marking DPS, they're in a very good spot. The problem is, anytime they need to accelerate pace and it faster rotates, faster execution, and in a position at a higher pace to counter out what 349 wants to do, they're just not super able to put that together right now. Green Fortnite is just a faster team. They're a team that's been together for longer. They're a team that has better chemistry. They don't need to go through long setup phases to execute their plan because they already have the plan set up. They know how to execute it with each other. There's nothing to communicate. It's just pure execution. Metagirls, on the other hand, I think picked up their main support like 3 weeks ago. So, like, there's obviously a little bit of a difference there in how long either of these teams has been able to fully be together, fully practicing, fully finding, you know, good setups that don't require time to get done. And it's leading to a pace from Green Fortnite that Metagirls just can't keep up with right now. And this brawl that relies so much on pace just isn't really getting to the section that they want to find quite yet. We're on a little bit of an interesting stage. We're on the losing side of map point, and we're going to the map type that's not the great place when you can't find the pace and you're not playing faster. It's push up next, which none of these maps are, you know, really, really hype options for Metagirls right now, I feel.
Yeah, push is just one of those maps that relies so much on momentum, even more so than any other one. So if you are not able to get that ball rolling, then you're going to be on the back foot fighting an uphill battle for the entirety of the map. And a reminder that this is a first of 4. Green Fortnite now have 3 maps. We are on match point. Metagirls still have yet to get even 1 map. It's been close before, but it seems like they fell short on Flashpoint.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think the plan really came together what they were going for on Flashpoint. Like, the vision was there. They wanted to mark DPS, deny angles, and then be able to come in for a hard brawl. And when they executed that vision, it worked amazingly. Like, when they truly had time to set up and take the fight their way, they marked out DPS without too terribly much of an issue. Problem came when every other situation knocked on the door, and it was a little bit too brittle their way. It was like a diamond. It could take a lot of pressure. It was really, really strong. The moment you hit it with a hammer, it just shatters. And so a good showing there by both teams, but now going into push, hopefully a change from Metagirls to get us right in the end. I kind of want to see a Hail Mary here from them, honestly. Doing it standard hasn't been able to work it out. We took a little bit of a step backwards on Flashpoint compared to what it was before, where every single map and every single time we've been getting stronger, we've been getting better. I think new Queen Street is probably the best option because you can run the dive there. And dive looked like the one part where Metagirls really was in control, and it just seemed like they didn't get quite enough on their victories in order to close that one out. I mean, Green Fortnite's obviously going to be very, really good on it. They won the dive map that we performed, but that one really felt like snatching victory from the jaws of defeat rather than Flashpoint and Control, which felt like Green Fortnite in control of these matches and of these games.
Yeah, and you talked about the Ramatra pick as well and how it was a little bit more difficult to execute. And a lot of these compositions are really just about execution. And if they're able to get it done easily and quickly, and if they're not as practiced on the Ramatra, not to say that they haven't practiced it, but it is more difficult to execute. And one mistake costs so much more in that type of composition than it would for the Orisa, for example, who is just able to block so much damage and mitigate so much just by spinning a spear.
Yeah, I mean, they wanted to play it such that they could mark the DPS out and have that barrier and have that poke damage and then collapse in. I think Orisa still just does that better, though, based on how you play it. Because you got the spear there to work through it. I mean, Ramatra just makes things hard. As we go to Coliseum now, though, we're committing to the brawl above anything else. We're not committing to the dive. There's no way you can play that here. It's just going to be standard, straight up, most likely default versus default. We can go back to the laning that we saw in Samoa here if you are, if you're Metagirls. We saw it work pretty well in Samoa, where we had both Saika and Mythical Frog committing to those fights. Sadly, that we're not going to be able to see Nysa jumping back in here, as Nysa has Collegiate, apparently. That's why they had to dip out. So, Collegiate, once again, interfacing with Overwatch in a weird way. We saw it, messing with OWCS. We saw it messing with Kunoichi with X10 yesterday. Now we see it messing with the one and only Metagirls today. So, things are complicated for both of these teams, it appears, trying to get the schedules all worked out, and this is a brutal time to be losing some of your stars due to Collegiate, because you need your standout players right here, right now, to be making plays. And we've seen individuals able to put that out. We've seen Saintex putting out great performances, being able to keep everyone alive with still fanning their damage. We've seen Saika being able to live on 1 health constantly, taking a ton of attention while still finding duels and keeping everyone else alive and really putting that pressure down. We've seen Hattori as well put the team on their back on Winston and dive in to take all of the attention and all of the fight, putting out tons of damage and finding kills. But we haven't really seen them put it together consistently and as a team. And without those playmakers on DPS, start to wonder, do they have the ability to put together those consistent team-based fight wins, not just relying on their DPS, or not just relying on the playmakers to make it happen? Or when those playmakers get put out, can somebody else step up? Usually you rely on your DPS for that nature. Here, though, maybe we can, maybe we can't. Amelia is running the Reaper here with Hattori back on the Ramatra, so we're committing to an aggressive brawl once again. We're not going to be worrying about laning. We're not going to worry about making it complicated. I would be surprised if this wasn't comfort picks that we're just leaning on for this last 10-minute match point. Metagirls looking for a new lease on life. Green Fortnite looking to once again be up on top of a tournament.
Now, it's going to be that Ramatra again, but we have the Moira. And you know what we said about the Moira in the last match? Moira, press mouse button 2 and win. but X10 gonna press mouse button 1 and win. Mythical Frog goes down pretty early here and should be able to give Green Fortnite a little bit of an upper hand on that first capture on the robot. Sawhill does get very low and is able to be taken down. Hitori does an excellent job of zoning Sawhill out of line of sight from their supports, and Halo actually falls trying to save them. Now X10 needs to make a play here, doesn't get to be in the fight with the rest of them, but you see that Reaper going for the Shadow Step, lots of damage done, but should be able to zone the Widow away.
So,
Or kill.
I realized I was a little bit, I'm not sure about the Reaper prior to this. I think this might have just been a call-out post, because Bun has been playing this Venture. There's been a Venture either from Bun or X10 all day long. Reaper is an amazing Venture counter, and so you can just consistently put up this damage. They've got a great hitbox for it. Shadow Step goes through everything, so I think this might be a Metagirl's counter pick map, actually, and counter pick, availability for this last chance map.
Yeah, Metagirl's already pushing pretty far. Going to have Green Fortnite drop down. Hitori gets very low, and X10's gonna finish it off with a huge shot. And now it seems that Bun should be able to finish off a little bit more, digging into the ground, zoning off Amelia, and the rest of them are going to fall like dominoes. Green Fortnite going to get the counter push started, and it seems like Bun wants to play very aggressive, take some space forward as well.
Like it, Mythical Frog here, a little bit playing mystery heroes as they're back onto the Tracer. So, unsure what to go for there. Metagirl is definitely with the advantage right now. I think it's like 65% of teams who win first fight on push end up winning the whole map. So Metagirl is in a good position, especially as they're looking to chase down this Venture.
Yeah, Sawhill now coming in, looking a little bit strange on the flank. That was a solo Death Blossom. I mean, they did get two, actually. And Sniper goes down, so now missing a little bit of burst healing here. Halo does have that feat drop, and Sawhill goes ahead and uses the Terra Surge. Seika falls for it, and now Halo able to keep the tank up and hold on to the bot. There's a little bit of contention here from Hitori. Now that Annihilation comes through, but it's canceled by the spear. That was so excellent from Sawhill to be able to take so much space. Hitori still going to spam down a bit of damage, but Amelia can't survive without the help of the tank presence. Looking for a little bit more, but Hitori just has nowhere to be when Sawhill is taking this much space.
Halo's really coming into their own for this map as well. This is the first map in, I think, all match we've seen Halo outpacing Seika on that Lucio B, on that main support ultimate. And as they take the advantage here, it's going to be up to Metagirl to try and stop this one before it can get to that forward progress marker where everything starts to go south if you're not the first team to get there.
Yeah, we have the Mythical Frog now on Tracer and using the Pulse Bomb, but doesn't find anything here. Seika goes ahead and goes for the beat, while Bun already has found one with the Venture Ultimate, and now digging into the ground and looking for something more. Going to have to back off here, but they've pushed this past. They've already gotten the lead on the bot, and Bun does unfortunately go down.
Tori is still fighting a little bit here, but X10's been surprisingly good on this Widow. Being able to really find their shots even in these close range encounters, still finding picks, still putting on pressure. Mythical Frog has not had success getting onto the back and finding that Widow kill. And as the cart moves on, they need to win this fight to start even making progress on the cart again.
Yeah, Hitori, as soon as they peek out, they get so much damage done, using the Coalescence from Santex to try and force this fight through, but Sniper is countering with the Kitsune Rush instead, and it just allows Green Fortnite to take so much space and disengage as well. Amelia is getting chased down as they're trying to use the Terra Surge to get some more picks, but it gives them so much space and allows them to control this robot with ease. X10 found 2 headshots onto the back line, and we didn't even get to see it.
No, X10 just powering on through right now, and as this cart gets into this stage, you start to worry for the team that doesn't have cart progress, because we're just swinging back and forth, back and forth. But if you're the team that's losing, you don't get to push the cart on your back and forth. The Mythical Frog down early as well from X10. This last is just hitting shots time and time again. Someone has to pressure them. That would be Mythical Frog's job. But so often, X10 is finding the shot onto them while they're still rotating.
and now the Death Blossom comes through, but it basically hits nothing. X10 finds Mythical Frog again. Mythical Frog is not allowed out of spawn, and now they're missing a DPS line. The Annihilation can come through here, and there is that extra healing from the Moira. Lots of health to come through, but X10 is still on a tear and is just completely untouched. Mythical Frog and Amelia need to find a way to shut down this Widowmaker, but there's just...
Oh my god!
There's just no way. There's absolutely no way.
I don't know if Tracer is the pick to deal with this Widow, which I can't believe I'm saying because Tracer is the best pick to deal with Widows a lot of the time.
Time to
Especially
play
on a map
Sombra.
like this. Like, it's just... There's flank routes galore, there's tons of cover, this isn't a good Widow map, this is exactly what you would say. Yeah, jump on the Tracer, go fight that Widow, and it's just not working. Amelia is actually forced to switch to the Widow themselves now, trying to find the counter Widow. I don't know how successful that's gonna be, not very.
I mean, yeah, you already have the Widow here going and on a tear, and you just see Amelia say, never mind, I'm good. I'm not gonna do that. That's all yours. You can have that. And Amelia is instead going onto the Sombra.
3 minutes left for Metagirl as the window's starting to close ever more, especially as this cart pushes over this ramp. Once it gets across a bridge, it's dicey. Even with good time left on the clock, it's so hard to get cart to this place in general, especially low on time.
Well, with the Kitsune Rush to come through, maybe they can shut down X10, and they do! They have Mythical Frog now onto the Sniper, the Widowmaker, and Mythical Frog is going to try and make a highlight reel of their own. Sahil does fall to Amelia. This is kind of cringe from Metagirls, but, you know, I'm here for it. Whatever wins the fights.
Look, wins are wins. If it's ugly and it works, it still works. And all that anyone ever remembers is whose name is on top of the leaderboard. Metagirl is right now and trying to make that happen. A trade out here. You know what? I'll take that trade. I won't take that trade, though.
Yeah, I mean, Mythical Frog going down in that engagement is a little bit devastating. Bun looking for the Lucio as well. Santex is the one to fall, and Seika is not long for this world either. Going to go ahead and dig, and there's Seika to fall as well.
Yeah, so Metagirl is just putting it together here and there, but... Touch. And
wait,
so
why is this... This is so BM. What?
Oh, that's just... Yeah.
Oh, that's not...
Alright, I think we're starting to lean back to where we were at the end of last game, where the TDM is approaching at... We're not at hyper levels yet, the speed is picking up on the TDM.
Yeah, Hattori versus Sahil 1v1. The Annihilation is in the back pocket. Sahil is pretty isolated. I don't know where Sniper and Halo are, genuinely, but Bun is able to find Seika. This is definitely into the TDM territory right now. X10 is still somewhere nearby while Sniper... Okay, you know, I feel like they're teasing Mythical Frog. Like they're really just...
Yeah. Mythical Frog is not having the best day. They were getting, you know, headshot all the time as Tracer, getting, you know, hit in rotation. Now they're getting teased on Widow. Mythical Frog's day is just not being good on Colosseo.
Well,
their Roman vacation is bad.
Okay, they're able to find Halo though, and Halo did have the B in the back pocket, so that's not a bad pick at all from Mythical Frog. Sahil shut down Amelia, however, which should give X10 a little bit more free roam. Bun is just kind of getting ignored because they got mad at the fact X10 was hitting way too many shots, and Annihilation does come out from Hattori to attempt to contest the point. There is only 13 seconds left. Where was the EMP?
Where's the EMP?
Where did...
Did they amp the Halo? Anything?
Okay.
Sure.
I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, sadly, we're not gonna go out with the roar. It is a little bit ending on a whimper as Green Fortnite is once... Well, I don't know about once again, but it's once again on the top of the leaderboard. They are your EU Kunoichi Kommotion champions!
Yeah, this is a really fun one to end things out on. It did kind of veer into team deathmatch territory, but I guess that's all right since it was a pretty fun series. First, second map, incredibly close, incredibly competitive, and you had that little bit of an unfortunate DPS switch up on Metagirl's side, and it seems like from there things fell apart a little bit, but I think that they were having fun. It appeared to be like they were having fun.
At the end of the day, I mean, that's all that matters. Do people have fun? Do we enjoy what we're doing? And I had a lot of fun on this stream. It looks like Green Fortnite is definitely having a lot of fun on this stream. Great performances throughout. I mean, on either side. We all know that X10 and Bun and Sniper and Halo and Sawhill are who they are. I do not believe they need, you know, any extra introduction for that. Metagirls, though, showing up very well in this tournament. I think the support line especially is a really, really good place to continue to build and continue to do extraordinary things. Saintex and Psycho, both amazing players that perform in different areas of this game. But at the end of the day, it is all Green Fortnite all day long, led by Bun and X10. How can you ever complain about anything this team does?
Yeah, Green Fortnite is just such a strong roster, just a strong squad. Metagirls definitely were able to bring their A game, and unfortunately they weren't able to close it out. The scoreline doesn't quite reflect how close some of these games are. Yes, it was a 4-0, and Green Fortnite, they are just a monster of a roster. But Metagirls, they made it incredibly competitive, incredibly close, and I think they definitely had Green Fortnite sweating at some point during those first two maps.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I don't think that last map was a, oh, we're bad, we're just done. I think maybe a little bit mental broke, especially once the Widow gets pulled out, life becomes a lot harder. And so I think I'm not really looking at that last map, and when we talk about how close these teams are and how well this match was played. First three maps, utterly extraordinary. The first two especially. That Paradiso might be one of the best Paradisios I've ever seen in any sort of Overwatch tournament. An absolutely insane match that went down to the wire. And then after that, I think just a little bit of breaking through. Green Fortnite started being Green Fortnite. The Silly came out, and they sillied their way.
They were possessed by the sillies.
Exactly. Green Fortnite's always having a war of how long can we keep the Silly away before it comes out. This time, managed to hold it to the last map, and they did find their way also to nice little EU crown to rest on top of their head.
Congratulations to Green Fortnite UK drill version in parentheses. Since they won, we might as well give them their entire flowers with their full team name. But that was Kunoichi's CGL EU Open. Green Fortnite, they were able to come out on top after dropping into the lower bracket the first day of playoffs and climbing all the way back to grand finals, closing things out in a decisive 4-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's just, you always love to see a good loser bracket run. They get a great job here, and especially getting, you know, X10 back and really playing with that, staying alive with that great performance by, I believe, Wisps yesterday to keep things moving along and keep things good so that we can get all of those playmakers back in ready to go. Congratulations to all of the teams throughout the EU bracket. I mean, just great play. I really can't complain. The EU bracket, as usual, was stacked. I mean, Chillionaires, Green Fortnite, Metagirls, Chengdu Drainers are all such good teams to have watching. I really can't complain about any of those. So wonderful performances throughout. I hope you at home, if you have an EU team, bring them next time. I want to see more because it just keeps getting better every time we run a Kunoichi event with this.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun, and we're going to see if we might be able to get you an interview with Green Fortnite and see what was going on through their heads, see how, if the sillies were possessing them, what their thought process was through those last two maps that we saw them. It's been a full day on stream for Green Fortnite, so I'm sure they'll have tons to say.
Absolutely. We'll be back in just a moment with hopefully that interview for you. Don't go anywhere. We will be back with the closing action and the closing comments from the Green Fortnites.
Cash and the ticket is yours. 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 Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. Got lots of love. 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 Love.
And welcome back. We are here with the Green Fortnite UK drill version coach, and we are so excited about this win. And congratulations, first of all. How are you feeling about the entire match?
I mean, we got the job done. What can I say? That's all I could say, really. I had, my team is good. They know what they're doing, and they accomplish their shit, so.
Yeah, I mean, you really can't complain with that. I mean, this team has been together since forever, it feels like. Do you think that gives them a really strong advantage coming into these tournaments?
Oh yeah, 100%. So when I joined this team, I was looking to simply sit to sub, but so when I was watching the team, I started to realize that a lot of their decision making is very subconscious. They just know when they know what to do together, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And,
yeah, absolutely.
And while watching it back, right, we decided that okay, we have a play style where we want to do our own style very effectively. So let's just play harder Rissa and let's play harder aggro. That's kind of what we did. So it worked out really well for us.
So with that, did you have to make any adjustments in the middle of this match as you saw things start to shape up? As you saw, the counter picks, the counter play that Metagirls was going for. Do you have to make any big changes to that play style, or did we just focus, go hard on the Orisa, keep things aggressive? We're just going to, blow them out with all of the aggression.
Generally, not necessarily. I think as a whole, when we see the adaptation, as long as we have a style where as long as we play high tempo and not falter, we should be able to not necessarily brute strength, but able to it's chaotic. You play chaotically, even if they play a different comp, they have to adjust as well. So we keep playing high tempo, they're not able to do anything with that. So yeah.
Do you think playing that high tempo style really lets your DPS lean on their mechanics more and lean on the fact that they can just hit all of these crazy shots and give them more opportunities to show how good they are on that style?
Oh yes, 100%. I think that's the reason why we play high tempo. It just worked out really well for us because of that.
Yeah, and is there any moment in this tournament that you would say has to be your favorite moment or your favorite match? Which one you thought that they were doing the best on? Which one you maybe thought was that's a little bit iffy? What were your thoughts in general on maybe today's streamed matches, since they're fresh? They're fresh in mind.
I mean, I don't really necessarily have not necessarily a favorite moment, simply because I'm kind of just there, just tell them my own advice. I don't really know the best way to describe it. I apologize, but at least from my perspective, when I came in and watched them, they kind of asked people what my take was, and I kind of just became a de facto coach. But when it comes to this tournament specifically, I don't really have a moment in mind that kind of popped up in my vision. Because I generally thought this was a good experience overall.
In that case, what was your favorite silly moment that we got from on the teams? Because a lot of these matches ended with a little bit of silliness on the side.
Well, whatever. Well, throughout the match, right? And at least in our VC, whatever. We kind of there was a time where once all died, we kind of just flamed them. It was I don't know, it was just pretty funny. I don't know, that was a pretty common denominator we do.
Okay, last question. It's going to be a weird one, or maybe not a weird one, who knows. But who is the biggest troll on your team? Who do you think trolls the most?
It's Sawhill.
Okay.
It's always the tank.
It's Sawhill.
Sawhill's getting flamed.
There are Rissa sometimes when they just go in 1v5 Rissa. Oh my gosh.
What do you mean? They'd win. They'd win.
I mean, it worked out. It worked out in the end. We got the job done, so it worked.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for coming out and talking to us, and congratulations to you and your team on winning the EU Open. And if I understand correctly, you guys now have to get ready for NA, so best of luck there.
Yep, thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right, so that's it for us in terms of the EU Open, but like I just mentioned, there is more NA Overwatch that you can watch, even though we just saw a bunch of NA teams playing over here in EU.
Yeah, it's going to kick off at 4 p.m. EST. It's going to be Tiny, Shiny, and Megalas starting the day with you on that one. So an incredible caster duo there and incredible matches with that as well. You got a 2-hour break before that gets going, before you got to lock back in for more Overwatch, and it is always excellent over here with Kunoichi. Oh. I suppose it works out.
If you wanted me to talk